Greetings and welcome to the People's Ascension. I'm over here today, down here in this box where there normally isn't a camera, because I'm not actually going to be here today. But before I disappear and become the man behind the curtain, hello and welcome to the People's Ascension. We are obviously a TTRPG actual play channel that does a number of different things, most notably for the RPGs Uncovered series, a series dedicated to showing just how quick and easy it can be to learn a new TTRPG, but that is not what we're doing today. Today, we are here for our month of Oneshots charity drive for reproductive rights and abortion access. We have a fantastic game of Avatar Legends coming up. It's not a system or a genre or a TV show that I know much about, which is why I am disappearing and leaving it in the very capable hands, very enthusiastic hands of all of these fantastic people. So I've been promised you're going to have a great story, and you can help out with that with some charity buys. So when this face here disappears in this same box, you will be able to see some of those charity buys. But your donations can affect the show by buying various boons and perils for our players, and siding with the GM, most notably, any $50 donation. And Brian here, our GM, is going to introduce a new villain. So bring in those big bucks because we want to see some cool new villains. I'm sure he has some cool story points ahead for those. But for smaller donations, because every little bit counts, you can buy rerolls for $5, you can buy auto successes, or some other major player benefit for $25. And every $50 milestone, you can see a tracker up in the corner there where you're at 35 out of 50. Every $50 milestone, we are going to there's going to be some major positive story beat that comes up. I will leave that to Brian to work out, whether that's a magic item that's handed out or some major plot point happens, whatever it may be. Something positive will happen to kind of help offset that $50 buy of making it harder, throwing in more villains, stuff like that. And at $250, every $250 mark, we are doing a giveaway. We just hit one on our last stream, so we are at 290, I believe. So we're a little bit away from our next milestone, the $500 milestone mark. But if we can get there today, I would absolutely love that. Not only because this is for charity, but because we have some really cool giveaways to give out. Some really cool TTRPG and related merchandise. We got rule books and gift cards, indie game packs, fiction books based on various TTRPG games. Really cool stuff. So a lot of incentive beyond just giving to charity to help to help maybe entice you to throw in some more chaos, positive or negative, for our fantastic players here. And most notably, where are these donations going? Well, they are going to the National Abortion Federation and the Center for Reproductive Rights, two very important organizations right now doing life-changing, life-saving, world-shaping work. If you're not familiar with them, there is a little bit of detail down below the stream here. We actually got our first $15 donation. I will look at the donation page to see if there's any further instructions there, but thank you very much. Oh boy, Mishkamish. Thank you. Heard the GM is terrible. Yeah, evil nerf. Brian doesn't know what he's doing. That's Brian, guys. He's a great guy. Yes, where was I? I always like to call out donations as much as I can, but I'm going to be disappearing. Yes, the National Abortion Federation, they have two very specific funds right now. One is dedicated to the providers, providing security and training and logistics and everything that they need to keep the operations, their clinics and whatnot, operational, well-staffed, well-protected, easily accessible for everybody who needs them. And a separate fund, the Dr. Morgan Teller Patient Relief Fund, that goes directly to patients, not only to help provide for whatever operations or procedures or help that they need, but also to provide them with important services like travel advisors, well-vetted places to stay, and things like family care, child support, stuff like that, while they are away, having to travel hundreds and hundreds of miles to get these things that everybody should have access to. So that is a very important organization right now. And of course, there is also the Center for Reproductive Rights, a sort of worldwide advocate for reproductive rights, and it's usually an organization that's mostly focused overseas in the countries that don't have these basic human necessities, these basic human rights. But since that has been stripped from us, from America, they've refocused a lot of their attention back home to provide legal and political advocacy and support, well, here, to the people who need it, to those states that need it, to the clinics that need it. So any money that we get throughout July, not just this show, anytime we are offline, anything that comes in throughout July is going to be split 50-50 between those organizations. So if you can, whether you're here for the show, whether you're here for the VOD, whether you're seeing this even outside of July, I definitely encourage you to give whatever you can. There's that link down below. You can click on the banner, or there's a link just below the banner that will take you to our donation collection page. But even if you missed that, please do what you can, whatever means you have capable. And I always like to encourage people to go and look up their own local clinics and local organizations that are providing services, because it's easy for us to collect for these national organizations, but there are a lot of smaller organizations and clinics in your local area that could use help as well. I think that is all our major announcements. Obviously, I do other things on this channel, but this isn't about me, it's about the charity. So if you want to learn more about me, there's more information as you scroll down on the About page. There's links to the YouTube and Discord and all that. I'm on Twitter. But the focus is the charity, and the focus is the game. So let me pass it over to all of our fantastic cast members here to talk a little bit about themselves, and then we'll finally get into the game here. Let's start us off. Let's start us off with our GM, Brian. I know you don't have a large internet presence, but feel free to talk up whatever you'd like.
Oh, you cannot follow me. Please do not try.
Get off my lawn.
By all means, follow someone else.
Follow me.
Yeah, follow me.
Like all of these other fantastic people. So who are these other fantastic people? Well, we have Zach here, who I've worked with a few different times now. Zach.
Couple times now, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to many more. Zach, tell us where we can find more of you.
Hey everybody, my name is Zach. I'm going to be playing Pongo Tith, a successor Earthbender in this game. You can find me on Twitter at Schedule4Launch, and you can also find my podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, which is also called Scheduled for Launch, and that'll be a place where you can discover some indie tabletop role-playing games or other really cool indie creators in general, whether it's musicians or authors. So come check it out, say hi, and yeah.
It's great stuff.
I'll pass it on. It's very good. I like it.
Yes, and everybody else here is new to the channel, so welcome to all of you. But individually, Birdie, hello. Thank you for joining us. Where can we find more of you?
Hi, I am primarily a cosplayer. If you like sparkly things, I do a lot of hand beadwork. And I'm also writing a game that maybe someday I will be able to post about, but for now it's just a pipe dream. You can find me on Twitter, where I post very detailed build guides and cosplay help, which is Elephant Bird with a 3 instead of the second E, so EL3 Fantbird.
All right, awesome. Yes, that Twitter handle should pop up once the nameplate rotates. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, I've seen some of that cosplay. It's really nicely done.
Thank you.
All right. Who else do we have here? We have VJ. Thank you for joining us. I've seen in recruiting for this, I've looked at a lot of different people on a lot of different shows. Tell us where we can find more of you and what you do.
Sure. Hi, I'm VJ Stonecraft. I'm a TTRPG writer, podcaster, streamer on occasion too. I'm also the creative director of Love Winscraft. It's a Call of Cthulhu podcast. The team is queer-led, and currently we're running Afterlight, which is the Cthulhu by Gaslight story. So join us in the dark.
All right, great stuff. And of course, we have Natalie here rounding off our cast. Tell us about yourself, what you have going on.
Yes, so hello everyone. My name is Natalie. You can find me most places on the internet with Ghost Candle, where I post about my art and things I'm doing in tabletop spaces. I am also a variety streamer, so you can find me at Ghostly Candle on here. And I play in a long form D&D campaign over on Zeal Zaddy as well, which is usually on Tuesday nights. And I think that's about it. Check out my stuff for art and all those things.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for all of you for joining us and helping tell an awesome story. So I will, at this point, I think that's all of my announcements. That's all of you guys. Let's finally get on to the show and start this awesome game, start raising some money. So Bryan, I will pass it over to you. But since we did immediately start off with a $50 milestone, I encourage you to start the game off with some sort of positive benefit for our players. And I don't know, throw out three rerolls to someone. It was $15. Anyway,
Well,
take it away, Bryan. I'm gonna disappear. You all have fun playing the game. You all have fun enjoying the game. I will be around. Take it away, Bryan.
so first of all, I want to start by pointing out that the donations are always, all of them are appreciated, but please do know that it is a player's first GM thing. If you want to benefit these losers, give those small amounts. But if you want me to make their lives miserable, donate $50, and I will introduce a brand new bespoke villain who to cause chaos in the scene. If we can get $50 during each act, I will run out of villains, and then we enter chaos mode, which everybody wants chaos mode.
Yes.
So, yes. So, uh, uh, please donate whatever you want, but donate $50 so I can introduce chaos. So we do have $15. We do have a $15 donation. So I think the beneficial thing here, the most beneficial thing, is if any of you can do a free reroll during the first act if there's a time where you don't like the result. It can be a good result, or it could be a bad result. Whatever you think is most interesting, feel free to reroll it. So this is a game taking place during season 1 of the Legend of Avatar: The Legend of Korra. We are currently in the midst of Republic City, the unified city by the sea of where benders and non-benders are living together, at least until recently, where a revolutionary anti-bender movement has gripped the city and has begun uh, a campaign of terror that has most recently resulted in benders getting their powers taken away by force, so as to uh, make them more equal. Hence the term of the revolutionaries, the equalists. Um, where we start, the equalist movement has finally truly hit a crescendo as they have taken over the downtown. Um, they have taken over downtown Republic City and are now moving to the rest of the city, block by block, capturing vendors. So we are going to start with the players all being residents of the Piece of Carp tenement, nestled in the Phoenix district of Republic City. Uh, you all are have settled in from a hard day of working at your various jobs or your various not jobs. But in any case, you've settled in for a peaceful night when you hear commotion as men and women in leather outfits with brass headsets and green goggles enter the apartment complex, moving past the central courtyard with two spinning carp in the middle of it, as they are knocking on each door and forcing residents out of their homes. You all are on the upper floors, so you see on the lower floors where people are being dragged out. Let's start with Natalie. How about you hear a knock on your door as two of the men are flanking an old woman with a poof of hair, bound by a ponytail, is flanked by these two men, and they knock at your door. And the old woman looks at you, and she turns to one of the men, and she says, "That's one of them. That's one of them benders." And they quickly enter and try and grab you. What do you do?
I immediately take up stance, let my shoulders relax, hands go up. I breathe a good puff of steamy smoke out of my nose. I just like, nope. And what floor am I up on right now?
You're on the second floor.
I nope out a window.
Okay. You leap out one of the windows into the central courtyard. So I think we're going to go ahead and start with the exchange. So with the exchange, you all will be picking one stance to be in. The stances are defend and maneuver, advance and attack, and evade and observe. Those will determine what kind of actions you can take, as well as the order that you will take them in. So if I could get from everybody what your defend and maneuver is, or I'm sorry, if I can get from everybody what your starting stance is going to be.
Advance and attack for me.
Okay.
I feel I went into full commit with leaping out a window.
That sounds like a defend and maneuver to me, because
Okay.
you're maneuvering out into the central courtyard.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Okay.
I think I'm going retaliate.
Okay, so that's a technique. So you'll choose your techniques when we get to that point in the stance. But
Right.
so you
Okay. So defend and maneuver then.
defend and maneuver. Great. Bertie, how about you?
I think I'm also doing defend and maneuver.
Okay, sounds good. So we're going to start with the people who have the equalists are treated as one unit for this. You can do anything you want with individual. If you get a successful hit, feel free to describe you as knocking out a single guy. Won't make a difference for the narrative, but they count as one unit for the purpose of combat. So they are going to advance and attack, since they're trying to obviously get a hold of you guys. So we're going to start with the defend and maneuver people. So which of you would like to go first? All actions will happen at the same time, but who would like to go first? When you're ready, go ahead and roll a defend and maneuver. That's with focus,
I don't mind going first.
by all means. So roll 2d6 and add your defend and maneuver. Or I'm sorry, add your focus to that.
So that would be an 8.
Okay, so an 8 is a mixed success. So with a mixed success on during an exchange, you may choose one basic or mastered technique. You previously mentioned, I believe, retaliate. You said?
Yeah.
Was that okay? Great. So you do the retaliate technique. That is a basic technique. Each time a foe inflicts fatigue, a condition, or shifts balance during the exchange, you inflict one fatigue during that. So basically, you're setting up to counterattack if any of them move against you, or any of your allies, in fact. So why don't you describe what this looks like? You can
So-
choose wherever you are, and then go ahead and tell me what this looks like.
So I think Pongo, who is a relatively large, muscly, unfriendly looking fellow, opens his own door, having heard what's going on, and he looks around and goes, "Well, that's how it's gonna be, eh?" And he touches the wall, and a medieval pike forms in his arm, and he starts to walk as if he has every intention to leave in a defensive stance.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So, who would like to go next? That is in the defend and maneuver stance.
I have a move that can actually replace one of the initial stances, so I'm going to withdraw that I am defend and maneuver.
Oh, what do you mean? You have a move that lets you replace.
Yes,
Okay,
I have a playbook move that says, at the start of combat, instead of choosing one of the stances, do this instead.
perfect. Okay, great. So you're withdrawing it. So does that mean you are choosing a different stance?
No, I'm using my move instead.
Okay, what's the move then?
Okay, I'll just do it. So when the Equalists open my door and accuse me of being a bender, it's like, well, I am eating dinner. I'm eating a lovely bowl of spicy noodles. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I never bent a thing in my life. And as soon as like there's any show of like confusion, I am immediately broth in their eyes. Which will be my move winning is everything. When you choose to use dirty tactics, I can take a +10 instead of rolling.
Oh, okay, great. Um, so instead of rolling the stance move, you become favored for this exchange, and you may choose your techniques from any approach. So it says if you rolled a 10, so that means with a 10 you get to roll, you get to pick two you can pick two master techniques or one master technique, one basic technique. So or two basic techniques.
I didn't think this far ahead.
I'm sorry. I misspoke. You do only get to choose one, but it can be one. It can be one. No, I'm sorry. It is two basic techniques or two master techniques. So, um, so for example, you can do your specialized bending technique. We talked about that a little bit.
I think
You
I'm
could
not
also
going to pull that one out yet. I think we can see on the overlay what it is. I think we can wait on that.
since you can choose from any technique, you can strike, you can pressure, you can bolster or hinder, help one of your allies. You can hinder them. And that keep in mind that hinders the whole group, not just the one guy. So you,
I would
you
love to I would love to do something that that helps. I would like to help the whole group somehow. I don't know exactly how, but maybe just cause some kind of I'm gonna bolt and maybe they're like, wait, get that person, and it's some kind of distraction.
okay, perfect. Maybe you head up to the roof.
Sure.
So in the courtyard, a couple of them notice somebody trying to get away, and they chase after.
Just a little cloud of noodle broth following me. Like pepper spray.
Love it. You know what? I like that it's like pepper spray. Do you just want to toss it at them and have them go in their coffee?
Yeah.
All
Just a big old cloud of spicy ramen. It's very fragrant, doesn't feel good.
All right, perfect. They gain the impaired attribute from the they gain the impaired attribute from the spicy broth clogging their voice, their face apparatuses. All right, so you get one more technique. That could be you moving up to the roof, like we said, with seize a position.
Yeah,
You want to do that?
I have the technique that's sitting in front of me is lure. You put a foe off balance by luring them in. Name a foe you lure if they don't attempt to either inflict fatigue. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do lure. So I'm basically luring everybody. I'm basically trying to lure the ones I can up to the roof so that other people have a chance to get away.
Okay, so they have to attack you, or else they suffer.
Yeah, they have to attack me or they suffer minus a mark 2 fatigue.
Okay, all right, perfect. All right, great. And I believe we have one more person in the defend maneuver or the defense stance. Natalie, go ahead.
Guess it's Mayu who's maneuvering, just committed full out window leap, goes in, does the tuck tumble roll, landing forward, her mess of auburn hair just whooshing forward, and there's still a bit of smoke and steam coming out of her.
So what? Go ahead and roll, and that'll determine how many actions you can do.
Okay.
So we'll say that the seize of position happened before combat technically started. So this will be in addition to you taking that spot in the courtyard.
Okay, and sorry, how many dice did I roll for the
2d6s. It's always 2d6.
2d6? Okay, so I rolled a 6 and a 1.
Okay, that's a 7. That's a mixed success, so that means you get 1. So you get
Okay.
1 basic technique or your master technique.
All right, I am going to do my master technique. So as I lift up from that tumbled position, I get back into my defensive stance, eyes narrowing as I start my pinpoint aim, looking to see where the weak defenses are within my any enemies that are around me right now, and just taking time to prepare and line up my shot. The reading. Do you want me to read what the pinpoint aim is? It's a defend and maneuver. So take the time you need to line up a perfect shot. Become prepared. In the next exchange, if you advance and attack, roll with focus or passion, your choice. If you strike, you do not have to mark the fatigue to choose what you inflict.
Okay, so that is the next exchange. So on the next exchange, you get that benefit.
Yeah.
You spend this round basically aiming. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move to the attack and advance phase. BJ, I believe you were in attack and advancing?
Absolutely. So are they actually in my hallway of my floor, or are they still
Yeah,
downstairs? Like, where are they in proximity?
There's enough of them that they are like everywhere in the apartment. So
Then in that case, I am going to strike. I'm going to make a little bit of lightning with my hands, and I kind of take on a very aggressive stance, and I am going to attempt to strike.
okay, so go ahead and roll 2d6s and see how many times you can attack. The answer may be 0. So
That is a 6.
So a 6 is a failure. Do you want to use that free reroll that somebody offered, or
I am going to use that free reroll,
go ahead?
and I got another 6.
Oh no.
Hey, that means it's faded. Can't do nothing about that. Okay, so because you missed, you can still act, but you will take fatigue to do so.
Okay, I'm still gonna act. That actually still works for what I was hoping to do, which is kind of make a distraction and get them to focus on me. They now know that I'm a bender. So can I make another like maneuver, or
Yes,
how
so
exactly do I? Okay.
you can do one advance and attack technique. So you can use either your playbook one or one of the basic one, which your strike, pressure, smash.
In that case, I am just going to pressure, and I am going to say, "Hey, stop picking on the little guys. Why don't you pick on me instead?"
They look at each other before turning to you, and then with that pressure, you get to choose what stance they cannot take next round. So what? So next round they could defend and maneuver, attack and advance, or evade and observe. Which one do you not want them to do?
I don't want them to evade and observe. They're not getting away from me.
All right, love it. Okay, so now it's their turn. They get to go. They are going. They get 4 actions and do not have to roll. However, I know one person. I forget who impaired them. I believe that it was the Peppers. So that takes away one of their actions. So they get 1 fewer action this turn.
Gotta get the noodles out of their eyes.
Yep. So they are going to go ahead and strike BJ. So with that, they mark 2 fatigue. You mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance away from center. Your choice.
Shift from center, my balance, and mark fatigue. Those are my options.
So mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance away from center. So shifting your balance away from center means the fight is affecting you emotionally. Your playbook says what those two options are. That means that it's taking a toll on you emotionally, and what is the effect of that?
Yeah. So I'll mark a condition and I'll mark angry.
So you, okay, perfect. Yeah, that's good. All right. They are also going to try and seize a position. They want the high ground. A couple of them are going to backflip up onto the roof. You've lured them. So they spend one of their actions seizing the position. They are also going to spend one of their actions to protect it, to complete their objective. You see them grabbing a couple kids from the tenement and taking them outside to a setomobile, basically an automobile that's like a truck with bars on it. And they're obviously taking people, and they take some kids and just shove them into the back. You see one of the kids try and like splash water on him, and it just causes them to get angrier and slam bars, the bars of the barred doors of the truck, sealing them in. But they have not yet finished their job. There's more vendors here for them to capture, and so that's their three actions, with the one that was removed. So we're back up to the beginning of the exchange. Go ahead and pick your stance yet again.
I'll be going into strike, so advance and attack.
Okay.
We'll move to evade and observe.
Yeah, I'm going to evade and observe.
Advance and attack.
All right. So you prevented them from evading and observing. I think they are going to continue attacking and advancing, since there are still people that need to be capturing. So they are going to. They get the attack and advance people get to go first. So who was that again?
Me.
Go ahead. Go ahead and roll, and then that'll and pick out your actions.
Okay. Oof, that's a 4.
Ooh, that means you fail. You do get to roll. However, I misspoke earlier when I said you check a fatigue. You actually move your condition away from center. So
Okay.
yeah, go ahead and move your box away from center, and you can go ahead and act, but put a little emotion into it. How does this action affect your emotionality?
Yeah, so I had tumbled outside into the courtyard. I'm guessing that's where I see the kids being dragged off. So seeing the children frightened and afraid, and knowing myself like I wouldn't want my bending to be taken away. I've worked too hard to use it to help people. This is awful. I feel like just that bubbling cold rage coming up, and I feel just my hands heat up, and I'm going to look at the vehicle. Are the wheels exposed in any way, or any of the contraptions, or is it a solid kind of piece?
The standard rubber wheels. Yeah.
Then I make a dash forward to try and strike with full force of my fire bending, just shooting full box strike forward to send fire into the nearest wheels.
So you are advancing and attacking, which you don't actually get to. It's a little misleading in that you don't get to move into a new area.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But there's plenty of guys around you to that you can strike at.
And I guess whoever's in between me and the vehicle.
Okay, perfect. There's plenty of them. They obviously do not want you to get to this vehicle, so you're gonna have to keep them busy somehow.
Yeah.
What action are you taking?
So I will. Since I did my pinpoint 8 last turn, I'm going to strike because then I don't mark a fatigue.
Okay.
So strike, a phone in reach, force them to mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Ooh, all right. That is a 9 total.
Okay, so you're using pinpoint strike on this?
Yes.
Is that a book move? What is that exactly?
Yeah, so the pinpoint aim was what I did last turn, which lets me line up. And in the next exchange, if I advance or attack, which was my strike, I can roll with focus or passion, which I forgot to add that bonus. If you use strike, you do not have to mark fatigue to choose what you inflict.
So you already rolled once, so you didn't need to re-roll again. But
okay.
you normally when you do strike, you can do extra damage to. Or, I'm sorry, you can take a fatigue to do extra damage. So what you can do is you can strike with that extra damage without taking the fatigue. So if you go ahead and strike for, you can do 3 fatigue to them without taking
Okay.
fatigue yourself.
Then I will do that.
I'm sorry. It actually inflicts a condition on them, which is even better. So they take a condition. They are going to take insecure. They obviously did not be. They were not expecting this kind of resistance from uh, just random people. You know, this isn't a army outpost. This is just a tenement, and here are 4 fantastic vendors just tearing them to pieces. So they're beginning to get worried. Um, so they are also advancing and attacking, and they're not quite beat yet. So what they are going to do is uh, they are going to strike. They are going to go for you, Natalie, since you
Okay.
just delivered that killer blow to them. A few of them are going to use their martial arts and try and surround you. In order, they have the. They are going to try to deliver some chi blocking jabs on you. So they mark 1 fatigue on themselves. They, and they render a limb useless. You one of your limbs goes limp, and you have 1 fewer technique to use each exchange now.
Okay.
Your limbs will become usable when after 3 exchanges.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you define exactly what an exchange is?
The exchange is once we go through the defend maneuver, attack and advance, and then the evade and observe, then we start a new exchange where it starts with the defend, advance, evade, and so on.
Mhm.
And then if combat ends, of course. Yeah. So that's it for them. Or actually, that's not it for them. They have more things. They are going to also surround. I think they're going to surround Birdie, since you did lure them up onto the roof. A couple of them are going to be lured away from the truck in order to try to cut you off and capture you. So they have like grappling hooks that they use to get up there.
I also want to add that as part of the move that I used last turn, the second half of that is if they choose to call out my disgraceful behavior and lack of integrity, they can shift my balance twice.
Okay, interesting. So I think one of them is going to wipe soup off off his mask, and he's going to go. This. Why don't you fight more equally?
Great comeback.
Kidding me with that comeback?
Look, it doesn't say it has to be a good It doesn't say it has to be a good insult.
No, it
So-
doesn't. You could still, like, maybe deep down inside of me, I do wish I was fighting more equally.
Yeah. So now, since they've surrounded you, each additional attack on you gains additional fatigue. So if they strike you, which they are about to do so because they have extra techniques, they do 1 additional fatigue. So the next turn, they are going. Go ahead.
How much are you shifting my balance so that I can mark that?
Oh, just by 1.
Okay. Plus or minus. I'm currently at 2 control.
It goes. So they are going to test your balance with that. They're going to test your balance with that comment. You mark away from center. So if you're already at 1 control, it goes to 2.
No, I'm at 2 control, so I'm at 3 now.
You're at 3 now. So if it goes off the track, you have to commit. You lose your balance, which you can look at that sheet I gave you. That'll
Okay.
say what that does. It gives you some options, but it's not good.
I'm sure it'll be lots of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Can't wait.
They are also going to spend one of their actions to strike you, though. So
Okay.
that'll do 2 damage, plus they do 1 more because you're surrounded.
Okay.
So you're beginning to look like you're in trouble here,
Yeah.
because you're surrounded.
I'm on a roof. I didn't
Yeah.
think this far ahead. I'm out of noodles. It's looking dire for good old Kuza.
So they have struck, they have surrounded, they have tested balance. They have 1 more action.
How do I mark down the harm that they did on me?
How do you mark down the harm?
Yeah, you said they struck me twice.
Yeah, 2 fatigue or 3
Okay.
fatigue total. So
3 fatigue.
check off 3 fatigue boxes. They are still impaired, so they actually get 1 less action. They should have spent some time to remove that, but they didn't. So that's 1 less action for them. So that's it for the advance and attack. Now we go to the evade and observe. Who would like to go up that chose evade and observe as a stance?
I know that I did, so I don't mind going.
By all means. So you do get to clear 1 fatigue, and you get to roll with either creativity or harmony.
Okay. Well, I didn't have any fatigue marked because apparently these guys did not want to mess with me and my sudden big stick. So I think what I'll do is, having seen that Kuza is running upstairs and recognizing this as trouble, I'll just... And as one of the guys runs by, I'm going to use my technique, break. So we'll roll that with creativity,
Okay.
which is a 9.
Okay. So that means that you can do 1 basic or master technique. I believe that break is a master technique. So
Yep.
Okay. So what does break do?
Target a foe's vulnerable equipment, render it useless or broken, possibly inflicting or overcoming a fictional appropriate status. So
Okay.
what are these guys equipped with?
So a couple of them are carrying bolas. A couple of them are carrying. A couple of them are carrying bolas. A couple of them are carrying electrical stun sticks. The main piece of equipment, though, in the scene, though, currently, is the truck that they are currently piling people into.
I don't know if that's vulnerable right now, though.
Yeah,
It's also in the opposite direction.
I wouldn't say it's vulnerable. So, is there
Yeah.
maybe another evade you want to use? If I don't know if that any vulnerable equipment they have currently.
Well, I was gonna say I'm using a big stone pike, so I was gonna just smash through one of these guys, like stun sticks, basically.
So you did do the evade and observe action, which means you are limited to the evade and observe techniques.
It is an evade and observe technique.
Right, smash is, but
No. Break is an evade and observe.
Right. So break is an evade and observe, but all that does is damages a piece of technology. So since it really isn't any technology for you to break here, I think maybe you should go with one of the other evade and observe actions. Unless you can think of any thing you want to break here. You could break open part of the tenement building.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if I just break the ceiling and start pulling my way through?
We've already broken a window. Might as well break the fucking.
Yeah.
Might as well break the wall too.
That's what I'll do. I'm gonna take my big pike and stab it and earthbend through the ceiling and pull myself up and look at these guys on the next floor up.
Gonna give you like, hey.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you breaking the roof keeps them from you've broken their surrounded status on Birdie's character.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be a bolster.
Yeah,
More
yeah,
so.
I would agree. So you are no longer surrounded, and you are on the roof. Zach, you're on the roof. Okay, great. So that's it for you, VJ. You also did evade observe.
I did. I would like to, since I've gotten their attention, they're kind of focused on me. I'm gonna slide around the blow. So I actually I should probably roll first to see if I
Yeah, go
actually
ahead.
manage this.
Yep, by all means.
That is 12.
12. Okay, so that means you can do two techniques. So they can be either a master technique or a basic, or two basic techniques.
Okay, absolutely. So I'm going to slide for the first one. I'm going to slide around the blow. So as they're kind of like fixated on me, I move almost a little bit more like a waterbender than what you're used to seeing from a firebender, and I kind of just slide between them. And before they can even really blink, I tap them on the shoulder and say, "Hey, Flamio, right behind you." And so with that, they won't be able to attack someone next turn. I think they can only engage with me, those people that I just messed with. And then for my second attack, or for my second maneuver, I am gonna strike. Why not?
Well, because you are you're in the evade and observe technique. So you are limited to the evade and observe. I'm sorry, you're in the evade and observe stance. So you are limited to the evade and observe techniques.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So that's test balance, bolster or hinder, and commit. It sounds like with you distracting them, it sounds like you're trying to hinder them, right? So they are currently impaired. So you can actually upgrade that and move it to stunned, which means that they can't act at all.
No, that sounds great. I will absolutely stun them.
Okay, perfect. So they now have the stunned condition. They cannot act until they have a few moments to study themselves. And you still have one more action that you can do. Striking, unfortunately, isn't an option, but you can commit yourself, where you move your balance wherever you want, really. And you can also test balance, where you can actually affect their emotions. So you can frighten them or get them to back off. Try and get them to back off.
Yeah, I think I'd like to scare them if I can. So I think kind of moving behind them, moving so quickly, I imagine that would be a little bit frightening. So I'll turn to them as they kind of like turn around. I imagine it's like I pat them on the shoulder, I've gotten the jump on them, and say, "Hey, how's it feel to get beaten by a bender?"
So they respond. They go, well, we're going to turn you into a mon, and that's going to win us all kinds of praise. And then they try and go to you. So you now know that their principle is loyalty. So you can use that against them in further balance maneuvers. So their loyalty goes to +1 now, meaning that it was closer to them losing their balance.
And is there any kind of roll I need to make for
No, you
that
already. So
Okay, perfect.
you're good there. Okay, so that's it for the exchange. We are back up to the top. They have not been able to load any more people into the car. You guys have been keeping them successfully busy. However, that car could start up at any moment and drag people out. Um, uh, so let's hear what you guys want to do this exchange. Defend and maneuver, advance and attack, or evade and observe. Choose your stance.
I'm going to defend and maneuver.
Okay.
If I want to try to affect the truck somehow, what stance is that?
So you would probably defend and maneuver to seize the position outside, or you could try and hit it from the roof, in which case that would be an advance and attack.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Or if you have something like break that lets you affect the truck like that, you got plenty of options there, really. But yeah, you could.
I'm trying to strike it from afar.
Okay, so that sounds like advance and attack. Zach?
I am going to retaliate as I have become a new threat in this scene. So
Okay.
defend the maneuver.
Sounds like you're defending and maneuvering. So I think I missed that the first time. Remember, if they attack anybody, you get an instant counterattack, and they take fatigue from you for doing that. So remind me, if I do damage to anybody else, your retaliate goes off. But you can't actually retaliate yet because we haven't quite entered the exchange yet.
Yeah.
VJ, what stance are you taking?
So my thought is that I would like to try and lead them out of the tenement and get them to follow me. Like I'm trying to just bait them. So would that be defend and maneuver?
So that would
Would that be
actually.
evade and observe?
So that would actually, you would still, you know how you tested their balance, found out what they care about? Influencing them socially would be like getting them to go towards their goal. So you could continue to test their balance by, saying like, Amon's going to punish you if you don't get a hold of all the vendors here, or, something like that. So that would be a testing your balance, which would be an evade and observe. Or you could pressure them. It's social things in combat are pretty much defined by what you're trying to get them to do, not so much what you're saying to them.
Okay. So in that case, I think evade and observe if I am trying to like influence them, like if I'm trying to disrupt their balance.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And I'm evade and observe.
All right. So great. So let's start with they are going to defend and maneuver. So let's go ahead and start with the defend and maneuvers. So I believe Natalie and Bertie, you both chose defend and maneuver?
Yep.
Or no, just Natalie.
I chose defend and maneuver.
Oh, okay. So Zach and Natalie, whichever of you would like to go first.
I can go first. And I get a -1 to my exchange for this turn as well as the next two, yes? So I have a limp.
Yeah, you have one less action. So you roll, and then if you only get one action because of your roll, you get no actions.
Right.
You'll want to roll well here.
Yeah. All right. Plus my focus. Okay. That is a total of 9.
Okay. So 9 means you only get one action, so you get no actions this round.
All right. I feel just like the numbness of my limb kind of radiating up into my torso. I'm just like, and staring straight at the truck.
Blocking jab seems to have removed your bending powers entirely. Who knows if it's permanent? We'll find out. I think we may have, but if it's hard for me to keep track of stuff, so if I accidentally skip you, please do let me know, so that way I can make sure and get you in. But Zach, go ahead and go.
Okay. That's 7.
Okay, 7. So you.
Yeah, positioning myself in this crowd now, and I get myself into a counter assault stance.
So you retaliate. Okay, great. All right, perfect. All right, so we go. So they are going to seize a position. They seem to be withdrawing to the truck. And so they are going to protect their objective. So that's 2 actions. They're disengaging from anybody they were currently engaged with, as well as protecting the truck. They're going to try to load a couple more people into it. Now they seem to be just be grabbing anybody. They may have been going for vendors at some point, but you've obviously put enough pressure that they just want to get out here with some people. So you see them just grab whoever they can, yank them into the truck. So they are also going to. They're also going to. I think they're going to try and chi blocking jab on Zach.
Okay.
So
How does that work again?
oh no, they can't do that on the defense. Never mind. They are also limited in by their stance, so they cannot do that. They will counter strike, which means they don't do anything currently. So
A bit of a standoff.
yeah, they seem to be defending defending their objective. So they did 4 actions. Well, they did 3 actions. You know what? They can't counter strike. They are going to remove. Oh, they're stunned. They can't even do that. Okay. They are trying to remove the condition. They succeed. So that's it. So they do not counter strike. Yeah. So that's it for the defend and maneuver. So anybody with a advance and attack.
I can go.
Absolutely.
What I would like to do is sorry, I just saw the chat, $25 for more spicy noodles. What the hell's my bending ever done for me? Not much. If they get me, whatever, but I don't want them taking those kids away. We've got crappy drainage out here. Got a we got a cart sitting in a puddle. I want to freeze those wheels to the streets. They can't get away.
Love it. Okay, so that sounds like a pressure. So they can. Well, you have to roll first to determine how many things you can do.
Okay, what am I rolling?
Passion.
Passion. Ooh, flat 0. That's a 6.
That's a 6. Okay.
Cool.
Did somebody donate money that I missed?
I don't want to reroll. Not a
No.
chance. Give me the failure, baby.
Well, you don't fail. Well, I mean, you can still act, but you shift your balance away from center. So I believe that shifts you off.
That would shift me off.
All right. So
One shot. Let's do it.
you do act, but you also gain you choose one of the following: given or submit to your opposition, lose control of yourself in a destructive and harmful way, or take an extreme action in line with the principle and then flee.
In line with the principle?
So whatever your principle is that you just went off, I believe it's control.
Yeah.
So you would do a destructive action, or you would do an extreme action in line with control. I can think of a couple with a bloodbender. Yeah, and then flee.
I'm right there and primed for a story moment too. So
Yeah, my instinct is I don't want that truck to move. And I go to do that. I go to freeze the truck to the street. But what happens instead is I don't want any of them to move. All of their bodies, all of those equals, everyone touching those kids, their bodies lock up.
And I think you do the kids too. Maybe you don't have control.
Probably I just lost. Well, no, aren't I deeply in control? I don't know. Sure, let's bloodbend some kids.
So you see their bodies all twist and conjoined as the bloodbending grasps them. You can hear the shrieks of the kids as they are also, locked. Their joints get locked up, and and held.
Oh, I did not mean to do that.
Well, you did. So.
Yeah, well, now I have to flee. So I'm on a.
You know what? I think that sounds like to lose control of yourself in a destructive and harmful way. So that one isn't a flee. So you don't have to flee.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So,
I gotta stay and see the consequences of my own actions.
yep. Alas. Uh, so that's it for. Is that it for the advance and attack? Did anybody else have advance and attack? Okay. Evade and observe.
All right, that's me. So how many lists do I actually have with me in this hallway that I've kind of been playing cat and mouse with?
Let's say 3.
3. Okay. So how far away from me are they?
Let's say 2 of them are on one side of you, and then one of them is on the other one, coming up from behind you with swinging a bola.
Okay. So I will turn to them and I'll address them and I'll say, "You haven't had a lot of luck so far fighting me tonight. What makes you think Amon is going to be kind to you when you come back without me and you just bring back a bunch of innocent people who can't even bend? Think he's going to be understanding about that, or he has a punishment lined up for you too?"
Okay, go ahead and roll your evade and observe, and we'll see how many techniques you can use this round. This is creativity or harmony. You also clear one.
Yeah, that's going to be 8.
8. Okay, so that means you get 1. So it sounds like you're testing their balance. So they move away from center as the beliefs are challenged. They begin. The 2 of them look at each other like, "Oh no, Amana, she's right. Amana is going to be pissed." Um, and the other one looks to the others and he says, "No, we've got to come back with something, or else we'll be utter failures." And you can tell that the other people aren't so sure, but they try and slink off into one of the apartments, probably trying to make their way to the truck. But they left you for now. So that's it for the exchange, I believe. Did anybody else have any evade and observe? No? Okay, great. That's it for the exchange. So they, uh, um, you see some motorcycles set out that they obviously used to get here. And so not only did they bring the jail truck, but they also brought a bunch of motorcycles. However, you knocked a couple of them off, and so there are only a few motorcycles left. But um, they, although they are trying to protect the truck, you can tell that they're going to try to get away from the motorcycles. They try to get away on the motorcycles before the round is ended. So let's go ahead and do another exchange. So go ahead and choose defend and maneuver, advance and attack, or evade and observe.
Advance and attack.
Advance and attack.
Bend and
think I'm-
maneuver.
Defend and maneuver.
I think I'm also still going to try defend and maneuver.
Okay. And Birdie. You've just you know what, I forgot to describe that in my interaction. So they are all still like frozen.
They're all locked up.
Yeah.
And so losing my balance doesn't affect my ability to move next time?
It does not, no. But
Okay.
obviously you've got consequences now. Everybody's gonna know you're a bloodbender. That much is obvious.
Yeah, that sure happened. I'll evade and observe. It gives me time to figure out what I'm gonna do next.
Okay, so defend and maneuver. What do you they are going to choose defend and maneuver as well. The yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go with them first this round. Everything's going to happen at the same time. So, but they begin to speed up the truck. You can see its tires spinning on the ground as it's frozen. The front wheels are frozen to the ground in that puddle, but the back wheels are spinning, trying to move. A couple of them are get on their motorcycles and prepare to leave. They are going to ready to gain the prepared condition. They hop on their motorcycles, and now they obviously are in an advantageous position speed-wise as you. They are also going to pull themselves out of the bloodbending, removing that condition from them. So that's 1, 2, 3 actions. They remove the stun, so they can't act this round. They are going to retaliate. If any of you come close, the ones on the motorcycles are going to try and sideswipe you with their electrostaffs. But you hear the engine of the bikes roar as they wheel around and get ready to retreat. So what other defensive maneuvers are you guys going to do?
Well, I'm going to roll first, see what happens.
Okay.
Hey, there we go. That's a 12.
All right. So you succeeded.
All right. So I'm going to seize a position.
Okay.
And I'm going to drop down by the car.
Okay.
Any foe engaged with you can mark 1 fatigue to block this technique, though. So if they don't want me to leave, I can stay.
They are not currently engaged with you. They retreated to the car themselves. So
okay.
You are now re-engaged with them now. So
okay. And now I can use. I am going to use a ready action myself now. I'm going to mark fatigue and ready myself for when this car's getting ready to leave for next round.
So ready doesn't necessarily mean that you prepare an action. It means that you create a appropriate status that you apply to either yourself or someone else.
Okay, then what I'll do is I'll take the pike and then just jab it into one of the back wheels and pop one of these tires.
So
or slow it down. Is that like
ready means you're helping your allies. So how would you be helping your ally or yourself? You're now in position. So do you want to get everybody to into a position where they can do things? You've seen these other benders. You may not know them personally, but you're in the same fight. Is there anything you can do to help them?
You know what? I am not sure because I have lost. Let's see. Kuz is up top. The other two are on the ground, right? Is that correct? Everybody else is on the ground?
Yes. I believe KJ is, or VJ is still on the upper floor of the apartment. So inside.
I think we are too spread out for me to be able to do that.
You could you could use your earthbending to open up the wall and create a way
yeah, that
they can get to.
We'll do that. I'll slam the back of the pike into the ground and more or less create access routes down to the ground. So like stairs down from the roof and a hole in the wall to get out through.
Okay, perfect. So you all now have the prepared condition. So that allows you to spend it to get a +1 on an appropriate roll, or to avoid marking the condition. So with that, is there anybody else?
We have a villain.
Okay.
Woo.
All right.
Think so.
We do have a villain.
Yeah,
Somebody
you
just
see
bought
the
us a villain.
The truck
I was muted on Discord. Sorry, Ryan. Let me interrupt. We do have a new villain drop. Art Heels bought us a villain, and it was requested if you could make it so a sexy gay villain. I'll leave that to you. We also got a $25 donation from my friend Taylor, so feel free to throw out an auto success or some other major boon for a player. You guys have at it.
You all have two rerolls now. So you hear the whine of a motorcycle coming from down the road as one person comes, and they're not using the standard issue motorbike that you see the rest of these equalists wearing. No, this one's using a racing motorcycle, one that you've only ever seen from the rarest of times. A woman in a black catsuit and her hair bound back in tight braids slides her motorcycle to the back of the truck, and she yells to the rest of them, "Get moving, you fools! We've got to get these benders. We've got to get these benders back to base." The other equalists all look sheepishly at each other as they hurriedly try to get the ice removed so they can get out of here. And she looks at you and she says, "Well, who are these? Who are these interferers?" Sorry. Who are these people interfering with this with our things? Don't you know that it's better for you to just lay in bed until the nightmare's over? And she is going to try and run Zach down with her attack. Did we finish with the defended maneuvers first?
Still me.
Perfect. Go ahead and go, and then she'll advance and attack on her.
All right. I am still affected by the key technique they did on me. So let's see if I can roll high. Oh, that was only a 7.
Okay, so yeah, so I believe this is the last round you were affected by the chi blocking, but sadly it is still blocking you. So you do not get. Do you want to re-roll? We've got 2 free re-rolls.
This is true. I could try. All right, I'll take it. See if I can get a higher number so I can do something. It's Nate.
Sadly, still.
Still.
Okay.
Don't we have an auto success?
Oh, do we? Yeah, let's just say you use the auto success rather than the re-roll. And so you do get 1 maneuver this round. So one technique.
Yeah. So I wanted to also seize a position. So my plan, as I break forward, I want to skirt around the vehicle and get into the path of it. That way, I can at least maybe grab onto it if it moves, or even if I do feel my bending getting back, just to try and be a nuisance if I can next time.
Okay, so you're getting into the path of the truck or the motorcycle?
Path of the truck.
Okay, so you are now in the path of the truck. You are ready for, or you've seized a position. Okay, great. You are now engaged with it, so it cannot become disengaged. It cannot become disengaged without taking fatigue from you. So, where that's they have gone. Rocket Rakavi is going to do an attack of the maneuver, and since I believe we're on that phase now, correct me if I'm wrong, she's going to go ahead and go. She is going to try and run Natalie down with her motorcycle. So she's going to try and Just a sec. So she is going to pounce on you. She marks 1 fatigue to impair you.
Okay.
So you are not stunned, but if you get impaired again, you will become stunned. She leaps from her motorcycle, drawing out a kukri, and attempts to stab at you. The ferocity and speed that she moves is quick enough that she's able to get behind you, and she looks at you and says, uh, "Don't you know, darling? Play. The city's under curfew." Uh, and that's it for her. No, actually, she gets multiple actions. So she's pounced. She's also going to advance. She's also going to advance an attack, making an unbalanced, impassioned strike. Uh, she becomes impaired. She shifts her balance away from center, um, and she inflicts stunned on you. So you cannot
Okay.
act this round. Um, That's 2 actions. The third one is going to be that she is going to try and smash the ice. So the truck is now free. She has freed the truck from the ice and it is able to move on its next action, unless someone stops it. So that's it. Or did anybody else take the attack and advance actions?
I did.
Okay, what are you doing?
So Azira has heard presumably the commotion on the street, like the shouting, the revving of engines, all of this. And so Azira is going to run to the nearest window that is facing the street in this tenement. And
Luckily, Zach has opened up passageways straight to the street, so you can just.
okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Then I will use one of those to kind of rush into the fray.
Okay. The fray is rushed. Go ahead and roll a passion roll.
Okay. I did. That is an 8.
Okay, so that means you can do 1 technique. So what technique are you going to do? The truck is currently free and could move at any second. You see a woman with a kukri and a scarf blowing in the wind, uh, standing in front of Natalie, obviously, poised to do some real damage.
Right. I'm going to try and strike the woman that is closest to me. The
Okay.
one with the scarf.
Okay.
So I roll for this, yes?
Yes,
Or
absolutely.
just wanted to check. Thank you.
Oh no, yeah, I'm sorry. You do not roll extra. You already rolled, so you can do the technique. So
Okay.
you're striking her.
Absolutely.
You do 2 damage. You can choose to add another fatigue or to add a fatigue to yourself to make them. So as it is, they get to choose whether they take a condition or take fatigue. Uh, so you can make them choose if you spend a fatigue. So if you want to inflict a condition directly.
Yeah. So I think I would like to mark 1 fatigue on myself, just to choose to hammer her with lightning.
Okay.
So that she has to mark that 2 fatigue.
Well, she'll. Okay, so you want her to take 2 fatigue rather than the condition. I just want to check. Okay. So she takes 2 fatigue. She leaps away. Obviously not as suited for ground combat as she is smooth on her motorcycle. So she's going to move closer to that rather than keep engaged. But she does take some damage from you. So anybody else with the attack and advancing? Nope. Okay, evade and observes. Birdie. You're muted.
Muted.
So evade and observe is creativity or harmony. I have a -1 to harmony, so I think I'll take my 1 creativity. That's a 9. So I get to do one thing?
Yes.
Okay.
You do have prepared. You can bump that up to a 10 and get 2.
Prepared?
You're prepared from Zach. Zach gave everybody prepared.
Okay, great. I'm gonna look at the equalists that are still around me. Oh, look, you all seem like real nice kids. You love your master very, very much. I have met men like him. He does not have your best interests at heart. And I would like to test their balance.
Okay.
So that is mark 1 fatigue. All right, marking that. Yeah, and I already know what their principle is. It's loyalty. So I'm shifting their balance away from center.
Okay. They now have +3 on that, so that they haven't quite moved. They haven't quite moved off the track yet, but they're getting darn close.
Right. And for my second action, I kind of shaken by losing control like that. That can't happen. I know that that can't happen. I spend way too much time making sure that doesn't happen for that to have happened. So I'm going to commit to connection to move myself 1 step back over.
Okay, and you do heal 1 fatigue just for going into the evade and observe.
Okay. So I'm back to only 3 fatigue. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so the truck is free. The truck is free and ready to escape. The equalists are on their motorcycles, ready to escape as well. Rocket Rakabi seems to be trying to slow you down so they can get away. They go ahead and choose your what stance you're taking.
I am definitely going to do defend and maneuver.
And I will do advance and attack.
I will try advance attack as well.
I'm going to evade and observe.
Okay, they are all going to defend and maneuver. So since nobody else chose to defend and maneuver, they managed to get away.
I did.
What was your defend and maneuver?
So first I'm gonna roll.
No, go ahead.
Rolling focus, which I think I have 0 in. Oh, I rolled a 10.
Okay.
Okay, so first I'm gonna use lure again, and I'm gonna do that by I see them about to get away, and I just shout, "Hey assholes! You're messing around with a bunch of kids and you got a bloodbender here? What is wrong with you? Come get me!"
Okay. Yeah. All right. So
And yeah, they have to attack me or they take 2 fatigue.
all right. I think they are going to take that fatigue though. They are going to disengage, all of them. Yeah.
Cowards.
They a couple of them get on their motorcycles. The truck starts wheeling away. They do take damage from being engaged, so they take fatigue because they are disengaging without you allowing them to.
Do I have more actions for rolling that 10?
You do one more. Yeah, actually.
Okay. can't attack them with can I retaliate on them leaving?
No, you can't.
Okay, yeah, there's not.
Yeah, sadly, there's just not much you can do to
The
stop.
the only thing I could really do is like get on the truck.
I mean, you could, if that's what you wanted to do.
That's what I was thinking about doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my only concern with that is splitting up the party, so I'm doing it.
I'll point out there are some unused motorcycles. You guys have knocked out a couple.
Yeah.
There are some motorcycles on the street.
Yeah, okay, let's grab a motorcycle and follow him.
Okay. So you move over to the motors. Are you moving onto the truck or are you moving to the motorcycles?
I'll grab the truck.
Okay. So you hop
Oh
on
my
top of the truck from the roof as it
Yeah.
gets moving. It is now going full speed through the streets of Republic City, heading towards the bridge out of the Phoenix District.
My internal monologue is just a lot of swear words.
So we're going to go out of combat temporarily to give you guys a moment. Don't think it's quite time for a break, but we'll give you guys a moment to the ones who are not on the motorcycles. You've all seen that people from your tenement have been kidnapped. One of the other vendors has hopped onto the truck and is holding on to dear life. There are some motorcycles nearby. Rocket Rakavi, the scarfed speedster equalist, has taken off after them. What are you guys going to do out of combat here?
I think for May, she's just like trying to shake her arm after basically being losing her bending for that moment, and is internally having the biggest freak out in her mind. So she's trying to get her arm to shake out and try and get a bit of flame in her hand.
We're all on the street as well, so I'll run over to Mayu and just are you all right? Your arm, is it okay? Are you hurt?
Yeah, they did something. It felt like they completely numbed my body. I couldn't, and I'm just like still trying to get the sparks of fire out.
Luckily, you do seem to start feeling back into it. So,
Do you think you'll be able to hold on?
Yeah, if I can get my arm moving, then at least that's good enough to ride. And I look towards a motorcycle.
Would you prefer to ride your own, or would you like to ride on the back of the one that I'm going to commandeer?
Maybe we should each have our own. Then if we have to split off and cut them off, we can come in at 2 different angles, maybe.
Good idea.
You. And I point to Zach.
Pongo.
Pongo.
Nice to. Wish it was under better circumstances. I'll be able to support you. There's an extra bike there. Let's get after the noodle thrower.
Yeah.
Have we actually like talked before? Do we have any reason to know your name? Because otherwise, I think Azira is just going to call you Noodle.
Yeah, you know me as like a quiet weirdo that works at a noodle shop.
Okay. Yeah, no, I did you see that noodle person? They jumped onto the back of the truck. We need to get after it as quickly as we can before they do something to them too.
We'll catch up with them.
Yeah.
I'll provide backup wherever I can. And he'll use the earth bending to re-prop up the bike so he doesn't need to bend over and get on it.
okay, perfect. So you all get on these motorcycles. Have any of you driven a motorcycle before?
I feel like Pongo definitely has.
I think Azira has. It's a really fast way to get away from people who are trying to hurt you. So, pretty sure Azira's done that.
I think Mayu hasn't, but won't admit it at all. So she's trying very desperately to look like she's fine.
Okay.
You gotta pull the clutch to get it started.
Yeah,
Mayu.
yeah.
We got it.
You know, my arm is still.
Perfect. I think we're going to go on a break here soon. I pinged Jack to let him know. But I think this might be a good time for it. One last thing before we go out on it, though. I would like Kuza? Huza is holding on to the van for dear life. The
Moldy cabbages.
Yeah, you can see it meeting up and entering in a convoy with other vans of this type. All of these all barred trucks.
Can
And,
I do something from the roof of the truck?
yes, when we come back from break.
Okay.
But you see them linking up in a convoy, and you see them heading towards a bridge where a dirigible, a blimp with the Equalist logo, is gliding over. And you realize that if they can get there, your troubles might increase significantly. Um, so, Jack, are you there?
I am here.
Perfect. I think now is the perfect time for a break, and then we'll resume with a chase through the city after that.
All right, with the dirigible incoming, fantastic. Yes, great time to take a break. We've already gotten some really nice donations. Thank you everybody for pitching in. We have our first villain. Brian, did you say how many you had prepared?
3.
Three.
And if we get 4 $50 donations, we enter chaos mode.
All right, awesome. Yes, my announcement was mistaken. We've already unlocked the first of 3 bespoke new villains for this show, and when we hit the fourth $50 donation, chaos mode, and that sounds amazing. So we're gonna go take a quick 8-minute break or so, get up, stretch, get some food, whatever you need to do, but make sure to check back here after around 8 minutes or so, and go tell people about the show. Grab your wallets, whatever you need to do, and let's see if we can raise some more donations and raise some more chaos for this fine group of benders. So join us back in about 8 minutes. All right, we are back for some more Avatar Legends. This has been a great show so far. I've been enjoying it behind the scenes. I will let Brian uh, briefly recap and get back into the action. But a friendly reminder: now that we're back from break, we are one of 3 bespoke villain unlocks away from absolute chaos mode. So keep those donations flowing.
yes.
Help us tell a great story, help us raise money for really important calls right now. There's a number of different charity buys, but most importantly, $50 will buy a new villain, and they're pretty awesome. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your support. Brian, take us away.
Okay, so where we last left off, um, hold on. Where we last left off, uh, shoot, hold on. We had Pangu, we had Mayu, and we had Azira racing on motorcycles to try to catch up with the escaped prisoner transport that had captured a bunch of their neighbors and friends, benders and non-benders alike, seemingly in a campaign of terror. Meanwhile, Kuza had grabbed onto the top of one of the vans as it caught up with several others who had similar visits to other tenements and captured people of their own. So now a convoy is headed over the bridge from the Phoenix district to the industrial sector. The people on the motorcycles catch up to it pretty much right as you head into the industrial sector. A Zeppelin is flying overhead, spotlight searching the city for anybody who's out trying to put a stop to their nefarious schemes. So you guys are on your motorcycles. What are you going to do to catch up?
Okay, so
We are not in combat, so you can do any of the basic move actions. Or you can just describe to me what you're doing, and I can fit it into a basic move.
Okay,
Okay.
so what? Sorry, Zach, you go ahead.
all right, so I am going to rely on a skill and training
Mhm.
with my earthbending. And what he's going to do is, since he still has the glaive out, he is going to drag it on the motorbike on the back to establish that connection. And Pongo is going to create ramps to give us an elevated situation over top of these vehicles and basically creating a roadway, blocking the buildings and everything that might slow us down.
Very nice. Okay, go ahead and give me a rely on your skills and training to create a shortcut using ramps throughout the industrial sector.
Ooh, that's a 7.
That is a 7. So on a 7, you do it imperfectly. I think the approach that's going to, I think it works, but it does cause you to become separated. The 3 of you are now on different tracks, racing through the city relatively on your own. You still can see each other in the distances, but helping each other is going to be more difficult now. Meanwhile, Rocket Rakabi sees that you're being followed, and she is going to turn her bike. The big spotlight on it shines in VJ's face, I think, as she begins to play chicken with you, racing towards you at full speed. If you don't move, you will be hit. If it'll come down to whoever doesn't spin their way. You can win this with an NPC roll if you want to succeed at playing chicken here, or you could turn off, which will slow you down and mean you may not be able to catch up.
Can I push my luck since this is a risky situation?
How would
rather than
what do you think you would be doing to push your luck?
I think as soon as I see that she's playing chicken with me, instead of turning away, I speed up.
Okay,
I guess also would be an intimidate, but I kind of like the idea of like pushing my luck. Like I'm just gonna push a little bit further.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll let you do a push your luck if you're just relying on luck to succeed on that. So yeah, go ahead. Keep in mind with push your luck, you only succeed with a 10 plus. Uh, if you hit, you scrape by, but it costs you something.
As I rev the engine of my motorcycle, I turn to, I guess Mayu might still be within like shouting distance, and I say something to the effect of, "Watch this." That is an 11.
All right.
Yeah.
She, you, the two of you come at each other full speed. You can almost see the whites in your eyes before she finally turns off at the last second, uh, uh, causing her to fall behind the rest of you as she tries to recover from her swerve, uh, and allowing you all a chance to catch up uh, via your various means. Meanwhile, Kuza, you're on top of that truck. What are you doing?
I in for a penny, in for a pound, man. I guess I'm blood vending the driver.
So if you do that, it may cause the truck to flip. Are you sure you want to do that?
That's the point. I want to crash the truck.
There are kids in the truck.
Well, the kids are presumably strapped down in the truck. They're gonna be fine. We're gonna crash the truck, and then we're gonna get them out of the truck. This is my very well thought out plan.
All right. They did not look strapped down. I'm just gonna say that.
I have a very well thought out plan.
All right.
It is crash the truck.
Noodles, no.
I think that's rely on my skills and training, because I sure was trained to do some skills. Which is, I have a plus.
You know what? No, hold on. I'm going to say this is push your luck because you are relying more on. You look. I've already established.
I tried. I have a 0 in passion.
Well, we'll see how this goes.
Anybody want to buy me a success quick? I just rolled a 6.
Oh no. That's really bad.
Do we have any rerolls?
That would be, yes, we do actually.
All right, give me. Oh, okay. Well, I accidentally just rolled one of my dice and it was a 1. So we're really starting off strong here.
Go, roll.
It's still a 6.
Okay, so it is a failure unless Natalie has not yet acted. So Natalie, you see this happening. You could help by lending a hand and marking a fatigue to give them a +1 on the roll. Do you want to do that?
Bring me up to a partial success.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I will help and just be like, you still have to share that secret recipe. You can do it.
And in my head, I'm just like, I'm so sorry, and I'm gonna just like, his arm is just gonna like go. Yeah, I'm using. If this was combat, I would be using my blood twisting technique, but it's not. So I'm just jerking him around like a little sack of potatoes.
Okay, so I think this is going to so it is going to cost you. I think you are going to fly off of the car.
Oh, I expected this. I expected this. I'm not again.
Look, they hit a lamppost, and they are worse for the wear here.
But they're not speeding towards Equalus anymore.
That is true. Although there are still two cars speeding towards Equalus.
I don't care about the other cars.
Okay, well, you flipped off and you land in a pile of trash. You take a condition from this smash. I think Natalie, since you were involved in this, you can pull right up to Kuza and exchange words if you like.
It's just okay. It's just salt. It's just a lot of salt.
Yeah, so I come up very like unskillfully, turn into a stop, kind of look at Kuza.
We
That
can
was the
talk about
thing.
we can talk about this later. There's kids in there.
Yeah. Let's
I'm
yeah.
gonna sit on this garbage for a minute. If you could just go check on them, make sure their bones are all good.
Yeah, okay. Get off the bike, go over to the truck.
Okay, so luckily the door is just completely smashed open, thanks to it being bent horribly out of place. Everybody inside seems to be holding piece parts. Obviously wounded. Nobody looks dead. Luckily.
Also, the condition I'm taking is guilty.
Okay. You know what? That tracks.
Yeah, I don't feel good about anything I did tonight.
One of them looks at you, looks at Mayu, and says, "What was that? What's going on?"
You're safe now.
Yeah, we're getting you out of here. The Equalists are moving, but we're not going to let them move on with you. So just come along. So I very awkwardly try and wave everybody out of the truck.
They very awkwardly come out. Obviously, they're in trouble. They said, "No, what about the other trucks? We saw two others up ahead."
We have friends on the way. They're good. We got this. Just let's get all of you out of here safely.
Oh my God! I hope that your other friends are more helpful than you.
I'm not good with words. Okay,
Is it too late for us to just go to the prison?
I would like to limp over and check on the driver. Are they dead?
They
I
are
hope
not.
not.
They've been knocked unconscious.
Okay. I don't know. I would have loved.
is the truck still functional? Like,
Yeah, shit.
No, definitely not.
Oh,
yeah.
There are two other trucks though.
I just used my one PG-13 swear.
So let's cut to Zach and VJ. You are still on the motorcycles. You slow down a little and you see this. You do see the two trucks up ahead. Are you guys going to stop and help the crash truck, or are you going to what are you going to do?
I'm not stopping personally.
I'm not stopping either. I will weave through traffic to catch up to those other trucks.
Okay, luckily, curfew has been in place for a couple nights now, so there's not much traffic for you to worry about. You zoom underneath the traffic lights until soon you come up to the convoy. However, Rocket Rakabi has swerved around behind you and is catching up to you with her much faster motorcycle. So she is behind you. The trucks are ahead of you. What are you guys going to do?
Are we on like a flat street right now?
Yes, you're on like an industrial an industrial road. It's flat. There are curbs on the sides where there's lampposts on either side, storefronts, well, factories and such flanking the road.
Okay. I'm just gonna put up a big wall in the street.
Okay, that sounds like a rely on your skills and training. So go ahead and roll that, and let's see how successful you are.
The answer is 6. I am not.
You are not successful. So, do you does a 0 want to help somehow? You can help move that up to a 7. It would still come with consequences, but do you want to do that?
How would I be able to assist someone who is not an earthbender? That's what I'm kind of stuck on.
You could
You could-
slow her down. You could.
like
Okay. No, okay, that's actually what I was thinking. So if me making an action will help with that, absolutely. I just wasn't sure if I had to like physically help with whatever Pongo was doing.
as long as it could be described as you assisting in some way, then I'm okay with it. Whatever you think that you could be doing to help this situation. Maybe you could
Okay.
pull up trucks to keep them from swerving away. You know,
Mhm.
you got options.
Right. So in that case, I'm going to like throttle the motorcycle. Actually, I guess whatever the reverse of that is, I want to slow down very, very quickly. And I want to turn around and I want to try and hit the woman in the motorcycle.
Rikabi? Okay. Go ahead and give me a rely on your skills and training to try to knock her off her motorcycle.
Right.
That is a focus. Focus.
Okay. Oh, perfect. So that is a 9.
9. Okay. So that you succeed, but you do it imperfectly. You knock her. You you head up to her to knock her off her motorcycle, and you do succeed in knocking her off her motorcycle. But she is so dexterous and acrobatic that she is able to land right behind you on your motorcycle. Now, meanwhile, the trucks smash right through your earthen barrier, continuing on their path. I want to cut back. So the trucks are still going. Rocket Rakabi is off of her motorcycle, and the trucks are still continuing the way. Let's cut to Mayu and Akuza. What are you two doing? You've opened the gate you've opened the back of the truck. They're getting away. You've seen the 2 trucks up ahead. What's your plan here?
I think there's probably a moment of us just like looking at each other, wondering that same thing.
Well, I have my bike, so we could probably go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get on the back. I'll drive.
I
and
should
hop up the back.
still think I should be helping after all that.
Well, you have an interesting set of skills, and I think maybe we need to utilize it in this situation.
Yeah. Sure. And I'll climb on the back of your motorcycle.
Okay. What are you guys going to do to catch up with the others?
Well, I was a bit of a street kid coming into Republic City. I have an idea of how kind of the streets on foot level work, so I'm going to try and kind of map out what the fastest route would be to catch up or even cut off from our location.
And I can probably help that by like if she's got her eyes on the road, I can like look at the peripheral and be like, oh, there's a pothole coming up, just swerve a little bit, or like, oh, there's a pedestrian, don't hit them, maybe.
Tell you what, go ahead and give me an assess the situation. I think that's what this comes with. So this is a creativity roll.
Ooh, 2 5s. So that is a plus my creativity. I got none, so 10.
Okay. So
Okay, so you don't need my assist?
Yeah, I just made it.
Okay, great. So I'm not going to take that fatigue.
Okay. So I'm going to give you one piece of information, then you can ask an additional question. It doesn't necessarily have to be off the list. I'm not too worried about that.
Okay.
But the information you get is, you know that if they manage to make it across, they're headed to the bridge downtown. And if they manage to cross that bridge, they'll be in Equalist territory and there'll be no stopping. But you know the way to get to that bridge before them, to cut them off through a shortcut that only you know because of your experience as a street. So did you want to ask an additional question such as who is the biggest threat? What should you be on the lookout for? What is your best way in or through? Well, that one I already kind of answered, but also what is the
So kind of answered the best way to get to the bridge. So if we get there first, do I know of any kind of bottleneck point where we could create an obstacle to slow down or even prevent them from reaching the bridge?
So it is a drawbridge. So if you could raise the drawbridge, they wouldn't be able to get across.
All right. Turn to Kuza and say, we got to get to the bridge, and just driving straight on through.
Okay, great. So you guys hurry through the industrial sector. You'll have to cut through some buildings. You can't take the road, not if you want to beat them. So
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and give me a rely on your skills and training to race through the industrial parts of the city.
All right.
You do get a +1 because of your assess the situation.
Awesome. So I have a 1 in my focus, so that is a total of 12.
12, great. You manage to, you actually go into the buildings, and you go through the courtyard, several of the like lots, but then you know a shortcut that actually is through one of the buildings. So your motorcycle smashes through one of the loading doors. You see some workers very surprised, but they scatter as your motorcycle revs right through over a conveyor belt and then through to the other side. And then soon enough, you make it to the entrance. You can see the trucks in the distance. You're ahead of them now, but they're headed towards you very quickly. And we're going to cut to Azira and Pongo. You still have Rocket Rakavi to deal with on Azira's motorcycle. And in fact, she is going to try and take out. She is going to. She's going to do a hard move on you. So she is going to attempt to inflict a condition on you. In fact, I think she's going to succeed. She's definitely going to succeed at inflicting a condition on you. She's going to tell you, even if you manage to, where do you think that you small little bit? This is a populist movement. There's you. Do you know how many people in this city have been waiting for the chance to take on you benders? Me included. We you don't stand a chance. And she's going to try and knock you off of it. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. It's not really covered in the mechanics. How are you going to react to what she's saying and what she's doing? Let me ask you that way.
Do I get to make a move?
Yeah, you can. What would you like to do?
In that case, I would like to use my skills and training to hit her with some lightning and just knock her off the back of my motorcycle. I do not have time for the nonsense that she's trying to spew in my face.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and give me a rely on your skills and training. If you fail, you will take a condition. Oh, well, actually, if you fail, she will knock you off your motorcycle. This is fight for the motorcycle.
Hell yeah, that's a 12.
Yeah.
So I think she
My
grabs
motorcycle.
she grabs your arms trying to get up, and then but you flip her, and then she gets thrown to the pavement, going into a roll as she falls out. As your motorcycle pulls away, you can see her lift her head, and she smashes her hand against the street in anger at not being able to catch up with you. And you've defeated Rocket Rakavi.
So before it moves to the next person, I would like to do a little spin on the motorcycle, blow her a kiss and say, "Thanks for the ride, Mother Flameo," and I'll take off.
Love it.
I am in love with this woman. Like,
okay, so
without you, I would just be pursuing the sexy gay villain that was introduced. I want you to know that.
I think there's
Secret
enough
heart.
sexy gay villain for like us both to pursue. I think we got it.
Yeah.
Pungo, what are you doing?
I want to take a look around and see if there's anything coming up that we can use to try and slow these things down, because we can catch up, but getting them to actually stop will be a lot trickier, and I don't want to see more kids get thrown around in the back of a truck. So I'm looking to maybe assess the situation.
Okay, go ahead and give me an assess. That's a creativity.
That's a 10.
Okay, so you can ask me 2 questions. They don't necessarily have to be the ones on the list, but those are good suggestions.
Okay, so first question, what here can I use to get these trucks to stop?
You know that there's sewers that run underneath these streets. There are power lines up above that you might be able to use. There's you see the bridge up ahead. You may or may not know it's a drawbridge. So you would have to get ahead of the truck to take advantage of that, though.
Okay. Then what's my best way to do that?
What's your best way to get ahead?
Yep.
Your best bet would be to create would. Boy, I don't know. Do you have any ideas? I mean, I'm coming up short.
If they're in range, my guess would probably be like earthbend a spike strip. But
Okay.
If we can catch up soon, I think between the two of us, we could probably do something fun with that sewer.
You know what? I've got a great idea. So you realize that if the other people are there, you hear a static crackle on the microphone attached to the motorbike, and you realize you can communicate with the other players.
oh, okay.
The motorbikes have radios.
Perfect. Okay. So over the radios, then you hear, "This is Pongo, earthbender from Piece of Carp. Anyways, there's some sewers here. We can knock over some electrical stuff. They're gonna get away on this bridge if we don't stop them."
Noodles here. On it.
All right. And I don't know about them, but I take +1 ongoing when I act on these answers.
Yep. So I'll say that you can give that to somebody else as well, if you choose. Let's see how this bridge thing goes off. This I think is going to be a push your luck to reach the bridge in enough time to bring it up, and then of course Pongo will have to come up from behind to keep them from escaping the way they came. So if Mayu can go ahead and roll a push your luck, and Zach, you can go ahead and roll a skills and training. You can take a +1 off.
Beautiful. I will definitely do that.
So my total is 12.
Mine is also 12.
Dang.
Rolling well.
Yeah.
Your plan works perfectly. The drawbridge gets raised. The trucks slide to a stop, and they attempt to turn around in order to come back the way they came. But Pongo is behind them and puts up I assume you put up some kind of earth barrier to keep them from getting away?
Yeah. A barrier, I think maybe like I said, like a spike strip to encase the wheels in stone. That's probably what I'll do. I'll make give them some square wheels.
Perfect. Okay. So their trucks get stalled to a stop. The equalists who are in them quickly realize that they're boned and open the doors and flee into the city. The people in the backs of the truck yell for help, and then but there's nobody there to stop you from opening it and getting them out.
All right.
So, with that, you've rescued the people of the Phoenix district who were being taken to the city. Um, you you can see in the distance the downtown where banners with Amon's face have been plastered over skyscrapers, indicating that the entire inner city belongs to the Equalists. But you've at least stopped these people from getting captured. Um, one thing you guys notice is there's one thing that all these trucks have in common. They all have a writing on them, and it says Tiger Shark Prison Truck.
Huh. I feel like that means something.
Are we all together again?
We're all
Oh,
together
that's
now.
caught up. Is there
Wait.
any way? Oh,
No, you first.
I was going to say, is there any way for us to do a check to see if any of us are familiar with this? Just because of my character
Oh.
background,
So
I feel like there's a chance I might
Yeah.
be familiar with the name.
that
Same
might
here.
rely on your skills and training. You can use that to if you know that kind of thing, and yeah.
Okay,
You feel
absolutely.
free
So I'll do that. I feel like Azira, she's like a labor organizer for the lightning benders, the fire benders. So she's probably spent a couple of nights in the clink before.
Yeah, can I assist with that and just give like a +1 there because
you'll
I
need to help if it's near success. So
yeah, okay.
but
Got an 11.
11, great. Yeah, you know exactly where that is. Tiger Shark Prison is on the other side of the city, just past downtown. It is a prison where they keep where they keep benders specifically. Normally it belongs to the police, but somebody had to give them access to these vans. This wouldn't have just been this wouldn't have just been they couldn't have stolen these vans, and they wouldn't be in as good conditions as they are now. Somebody must have given this to them, and they, based on the direction that they were going, they were probably taking them to Tiger Shark Prison.
Does anyone know how to drive one of these things?
I mean,
We're not. Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Do you think that they have more kids? Just the ones that we've rescued? Because if so, I see no problem with infiltrating. You can think we're a crew driving one of these, got lost.
I really don't want more trouble.
So you brought the trouble in the first place and now you're not willing to follow through on it?
I'm not the one that showed up and started kidnapping people.
No, but you are the one who stopped the truck.
and all the people from moving briefly, so you're going to be a high value target.
Yeah, that was a little intense.
That was a little.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Totally. Maybe don't tell anyone.
Sure, I'm okay with that.
You serve my favorite noodles in the city, so I don't want to lose that.
Would be hard to do that in Bloodbender jail.
Not a snitch, so you're fine.
But looking around, I don't think we'll have a lot of options soon if we don't do something.
Yeah, that Rocket lady really seems to have it in for us, and for me specifically. Can't say I blame her.
She saw all our faces. I don't know how good an infiltration's gonna go.
Well, that all just depends on the disguise.
Yeah. Is there like unconscious equalists like still in the vans or?
It can be if you want to. Yeah,
I would love that. I have a move specifically for this.
yeah, perfect. So
Nice.
you find one who was in fact it was the one who was knocked unconscious before when the truck crashed. So you circle back around, you grab him, You can interrogate him if you choose.
Oh, that's not it. But
Well, what's
I
your
have
move?
I have a thing called Walk This Way, which it helps you with disguises and coaching people to fit into appropriate crowds.
Oh, well, perfect.
Ooh.
You've definitely beat up enough equals so you can grab their claws.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Pongo just starts stripping these people down. He's looking for one. You can't find anything that's quite big enough for his the length of his arms. Everything fits him fine, but except for the length, it's just not quite right. So it's a little frustrated with that. But yeah, so he's basically to be giving them coaching on how to act and the such.
Can
And
we get physical descriptions of everybody? This seems like a good chance.
Yeah.
All I know is that you're big.
Okay, yeah. So Pongo is a fairly large young man. He's probably anywhere between 18 and 23, you would guess. A little beat up, but almost like a very manicured and well taken care of. You would guess if you had seen him in around that he came from money, but his demeanor was a little bit off. You could tell that he oftentimes would be very supportive of others. He seemed to be very involved with the community as a whole. So he might not be somebody you know by name, but you've seen him around. He's, like I said, very tall, but not muscly, just lanky almost.
Zira is about the same age, maybe just a little bit younger than that. She's really tall, like 5'9", 5'10", but something about her presence makes her seem even a little bit taller, maybe. She's got dark brown hair, her eyes are green, but kind of the most noticeable or the most recognizable thing about her is that even though she's a firebender, a lightning bender, it's her spine is really made out of steel. She's really, really tough. She spent most of her life on the run, kind of dodging cops, the bad guys of Republic City, and she sort of reemerged recently as this kind of labor organizer for lightning benders and fireworkers in Republic City. And she's been trying to get people to rise up and strike against the equalists.
Yeah. Mayu, she is around late teens. Seems very roughed edge. Seems to have went through a pretty hard-lived street life. Has long dark auburn hair and deep hazel eyes. She has a very slight but toned figure and very kind of wiry muscles to her. Has a very rebellious and standoffish sort of demeanor in how she approaches things and can get a little awkward. But she has a definite focus on things when stuff is happening. So, and she just keeps it very simple in her clothing, which shows that maybe she doesn't have a lot, but she does have at least a silver locket she keeps kind of tucked under her shirt from her family.
Kuza is apparently the adult supervision, like early 20s. Average height, water tribe, so darker skin, long dark hair pulled into a ponytail, deliberately very neutral clothing, no there's no water tribe style clothing. Extremely keeps to themselves, dodges questions in ways that show that they never quite learned how to lie. Serves some mean spicy ramen. And that's probably all any of you know. They don't really socialize.
So it sounds like you all have decided to go to Tiger Shark prison, see what's going on there. Am I interpreting that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. The Tiger Shark prison is on the other side of the city. There's no way through without going through Equalist territory. You have some Equalist uniforms. Are you? What is the plan for you guys to get to the prison?
Would it make more sense if some of us pretended to be like if we just got in the back of the truck and somebody drives?
I was thinking of being back there.
2 in the front,
The
2 in
old
the back.
Wookiee trick.
VJ, I think you're muted.
I was just agreeing, saying the old Wookiee trick. That would be could work.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
You get two. Who are the two that are dressing as equals?
I would definitely be one of them.
Put me in the back. I don't want to do that.
out of. Oh, sorry, Brady.
I just said put me in the back. I don't want to do that.
I actually have a question for the group. So I have out of uniform, which helps me kind of blend in. So I could probably get away with being an equalist. But if I'm like relatively well known for causing trouble in Republic City, I would be a really good target to have in the back because they might let us through more checkpoints or something if they think we have like a really important target or something like that. So I could go either way.
Selfishly, I haven't gotten a chance to chat with you. I have gotten a chance to chat with Mayu a little bit. And so
Okay.
Pongo's already spoken for. I would love to have you in the trunk with me.
All right, I'll go in the trunk.
All right.
So
Just be Pongo up front then.
Well,
Okay.
is it
May you can sit there and just be like, I just won't talk when we have to pass anybody. I think that's a solid plan.
I think Mayu and Pongo is also a very fun pairing.
Yeah,
So-
it could be interesting.
Yeah.
Should I roll my disguise thing to see how this goes?
Not yet, because you'll roll when the consequences present themselves. The drawbridge lowers so you guys can get across the bridge again, and you proceed. On the other side, the Equalists have set up a checkpoint. You see a dozen Equalist thugs standing around with ready to cause trouble. They're keeping people from getting both in and out of the inner city. And Amon banners are everywhere. And you can see Equalist supporters getting drunk in the streets and enjoying themselves, celebrating a hard-fought victory, and in their minds, won. So one of the Equalists wearing their uniform but without the hood or without the mask comes out and greets you, and he says, just one truck? I thought, are these the trucks from the Phoenix district? Why is there just one of you? What happened to the others?
Well, this would be where the roll happens, because how Walk This Way works depends on how much attention they give us to our answer. So
Okay, well then go ahead and roll, and let's see.
okay, so it's a 7 to 9. So it's an 8, I should say, not a 7 to 9. But says you fool nearly everyone, but there's a single gatekeeper who asks any questions or stands in your way. So,
Okay. So yeah, the others seem occupied by their celebrations. They don't seem to think you're much of a threat because you're in a tiger shark, or you're in a tiger shark prison truck. Why would you be a threat if you're from their guys? But this one guy, he's nosy, and he asks you about why is there only one truck? We sent 3 trucks to the Phoenix district.
vendors that were really rough, like they totally destroyed one of the trucks, and there's some of them are dealing with it back there.
Yep.
Can we hear this conversation inside the truck, or is it like
No,
basically muted?
there's bars and stuff, but you guys, the truck has like bars. It's like one of those prison carriages, except for there's just bars separating you guys on the outside. So,
Okay. Then in that case, I'm gonna start like rattling the bars and acting very violent to kind of back up this point and see if that might, I don't know if that would be a help, but try and like hammer home the point that like they had a really hard fight tonight.
And I'll just look at the guard and go, hang on a second, I'm going to take my foot off the brake and then just press it really hard so it jostles the back.
he goes, lousy benders, always causing trouble. Get
I
these
hear you.
get these benders to Tiger Shark Prison. That's the only place that'll be able to contain these monsters.
Yep.
Hey, you take care of yourself. You don't know what's going to happen out there.
Yeah, you too.
Clap him
So-
on the shoulder and drive away.
Flip the
Yep.
bird.
So you drive through town, moving fairly slowly. As I said, the Equalists have completely transformed it. Where once families and people going about their business, all settled, the Equalists have completely taken over. It's martial law. Nobody's allowed out on the streets. And if there aren't any benders, they're lying low, or have already been captured, maybe even lost their bending abilities by now. It's a very sad state of affairs here in Republic City. Luckily, once you cross the bridge, the bridge on the other side of downtown, and you go to the Tiger District, where again the Equalists control, but it's much looser control than downtown. You may stand a chance here if you end up getting into a fight, at least. You can see Tiger Shark Prison in the distance. It's on the coast. It's basically a pier. So it is sitting above the water of the river, but high enough that waterbenders would have a difficult time reaching the water. So it's high enough from Earth that Earthbenders couldn't access it. It's high enough from so it's not over Earth, so Earthbenders can't access it. The waterbenders have a hard time reaching the river, and any firebenders hopefully wouldn't be able to make it much past the water. But there are guards stationed at the front. These guards, however, are not dressed like Equalists. Instead, they're just dressed like normal guards. So these ones seem to be a bit more credible. These aren't just flunkies who were drafted to serve. These are actual prison guards. What they're doing here, who can say? But the car pulls up to them, and they say, "How many prisoners do you have?"
We just grabbed the 2, right?
2.
We got 2.
And he goes, I don't know if 2's enough to bother opening the platinum doors. Maybe we should wait for more to arrive. He says, "Oh, that's not going to happen." One of them says, "But we're probably not going to get any more until tomorrow." And he says, who do you got? There's got to be somebody valuable enough for us to open up the doors."
Well,
We got a
pretty well-known labor mover back there.
lightning bender, almost took us out. And
How you doing?
Just some guy from the noodle place. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
a particularly nasty water bender.
So
They really put spice in the water.
I don't know about the noodle guy, but any one of you besides Noodle can roll a trick roll. So that is
Creativity.
creativity.
I will entrust Pongo.
Okay. You have a 10.
Okay, great.
And I'll be like, listen, these 2 specifically, they took out 2 other trucks. They cut off the road. They were it was like they had inside information.
Yep.
The guards glance at each other and say, "Well, that's pretty serious." Sergeant Ito is going to want to get a look at them. Send them through.
You got it, Chief.
So you see them opening the doors. Their doors are made of platinum, which is a material that is so dense even metal benders can't bend it. So the massive doors open up and allow you onto the onto the pier, the elevated roadway that leads to the prison. Soon enough, though, you've reached the limit of where the truck can go, and there are guards standing around. And they walk towards the prison, and they say, "We'll take them from here."
I'm going to just like quietly, while we're still on the truck there, be like, Mayu, just letting you know.
Yeah.
I'm totally cut off from my abilities here.
Okay.
I can lie. I could be relatively charming, but other than that, it's
No, you be the face, and I'll have your back if anything goes down. I got you.
And so these guards are starting to are we like, are they letting us wait in the truck? Are we pulled off to the side?
You're like reached as far as the truck can go, so you're like at the prison doors. So like they're wanting to take the prisoners from you to take them into lock. You would know that from your criminal background, these are not like Republic City policemen. These are not the ones who metal bend around and are given the prestigious jobs. These are called bull officers. They are non-benders who have just been given the shit jobs so in the police department, and so you're beginning to get the idea that maybe these police decided to grab an opportunity when they could.
And how many of them are there?
There's at least two there's at least two currently where you are. There are probably more inside, and there's more at the entrance that you guys passed before.
And are the ones at the entrance, as we kind of peek out the car, are their backs to us?
No, they're facing you. They're trying to take the prisoner.
Okay.
You could try tricking them, getting them to turn around, but yeah, right now they're facing them.
Also, could also try and guide them.
I don't think guide them is going to work. That's more of a
that's more of an escalated. Now that I'm actually reading this,
I think trick is what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, fellas, I'm guessing that they've had you working hard all night, haven't they?
Oh yeah, they've been bringing over prisoners from all over the city. We've got at least 100 benders in there.
Jeez, that's a lot. And
I know.
That's a pretty dangerous job, working with the benders and stuff.
Well, it'll be easier soon. Word is Amon's going to come tonight, and he's going to take away their bending powers. All of them. I know, it's amazing.
That's a lot, yeah. Tell you what, I would hate it for us to be the ones waiting out here when Amon gets here, and you are stuck away from that. That's something that you want to see, isn't it?
I mean, Amon is kind of my hero.
Why don't you let us take these ones in? I know booking's a pain. We can handle the paperwork. It's fine.
They look at each other and go ahead and give me a trick roll. Let's see how tricked they
are. That's a 9.
Okay. Does somebody move that to an 11 or move that to a 10?
I'll help. As one that's all in disguise, will pop up, be like, "Yeah, these two benders are rather surly, and we know how to handle them. So let us take them in for you."
Uh, they
I
look at
rattle the bars.
they look at each other. They say, "Well, you guys can chi block them, right? Keep them from bending. Why don't you do that and then escort them in?"
Yes.
Sounds good. And
All
we'll
right, go ahead.
stand back. We don't, and go back around the car.
All right, so you open up the truck.
Pretend to chi block these two.
Just
And
give me a brief description of what that looks like.
uh,
I pretend to put up a fight the entire time.
and
Okay.
you basically just see Pongo just, at least to one of them, just give like a really pointed, just like jab with his finger. And you
I
just
make
like,
a big show of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pull all this water out of the air. Oh no, it's not working. Oh, I'm so sad.
They look very smug about this. They're like, "Yeah, show those benders who's boss."
Oh no, I've been captured.
Yeah.
Ah.
Whatever shall we do?
So
Oh,
they go, "All right, take them on in."
if
They should be
only I could water bend right now.
harmless now. Go ahead and take them in.
Actually, as we're going, I'm just going to turn to one of the guards and just like, we embarrassingly lost a couple of our little shock sticks in the fight. Could we borrow one of yours just in case we have to teach him a little, poke him along?
You know what? That's a good idea. We were,
No, not the shock stick.
oh yes, definitely the shock sticks. No,
Ah,
just now. We're gonna
Yeah.
hand them these shock sticks, and they're gonna show you who's
no,
boss.
don't do that.
So they hand you shock sticks. You now have some shock sticks on you.
I just nod to Pongo.
appreciate it. And he turns it on, it just like hears it zapped. He's like, all right, get moving.
Or just moving so much.
So you head into the prison, and you can see you can see a massive cell block. There are hundreds of you see cells, multi levels of cells on both sides of a large area, a large empty area, and you can see men, women, and children all locked in each of the cells, awaiting their final fates, which you've heard is the complete removal of their bending abilities. And there's something hanging from the roof, like a massive piece of equipment. And there's a couple guards, but not nearly as much as you'd think. They seem to be pretty confident that they've got this in hand. But yeah, what are you guys gonna do?
Well,
I
Is
hate
there
this.
I would like to assess the situation and see if I can figure out who's holding the keys right now.
Sure, go
I
ahead.
want those keys.
Go ahead and give me assess the situation.
Okay. Does anybody have eyes on what stat that is? Creativity.
Yep.
Cool. I have one in that. Not a 6. Not a 6. That is an 8.
Okay.
Okay, so you get one question. So it sounds like what here can you use to open the cells? Sound right?
I mean, I know that it's. I mean, I know the answer to that question is yeah, sure. Like,
I mean, I
what
would be.
gear can I use to open all these doors?
So you realize that they are automatic. You realize that there is a console switch on the other side of this hallway that has electrical things to each of the cells, and so they can be opened from this central terminal.
I nudge Azira. The locks are electric.
Nice. All right. Can I use my skills and training, or would this be a different role entirely, to see if I can like short circuit the electricity with my lightning?
Yeah, that would be a skills and train. That would be a skills and training. So, what are you trying to do? Though, are you trying to get the cells open and get people because they wouldn't be able to leave really this area? Are you just trying to get them out of their cells?
So I'm not thinking that this is necessarily something that I would do immediately. I think I'd want to talk it over with the group, but maybe if there's some kind of like electrical or power panel, um, something like that. Because my thinking is it's going to be really hard to get. Like we're in the middle of equalist territory, so it's going to be very hard to get all of these people to safety, to freedom. Like we have like one truck. But we could, in theory, retake the prison.
There's a lot of benders in here and not that many guards.
There's also
we
not
can
plenty of
just-
resources.
If we can just hold them off long enough that the chi blocking wears off. I mean, the earthbenders are pretty out of luck, but
the rest of us are still in decent shape, right? If we can, there's got to be a source of water somewhere.
there's always a
Um,
source of water.
Yeah.
Azira tries not to think
Yeah,
too hard
yeah,
about where that
that's
source of water might be coming from.
Well, what if
But
we attack like the actual power source to the facility?
that's
I
kind of
wonder
what I was thinking. But like, what is the end goal? Do we want to try and get everybody out? Because then we still are in equalist territory. Do we just want to retake the prison as like some kind of sign of resistance? What are we feeling?
Standing army might make it better.
I just want to get the people out.
So, it is worth noting that the Tiger District where you guys are isn't necessarily as locked down as the inner city. So, if you can get them past the front gates, they could probably get away.
Okay. So we can essentially do both potentially, as we retake the prison, and in doing so we free the people who are here. I'm game for that, and I am a-okay with trying to find some kind of electrical panel control system and just shooting the hell out of it with my lightning.
We can do that.
All right, and that's skills and training?
Yep. Are you trying to do this overtly or covertly?
It's gonna get overt pretty quick.
Yeah. So, okay. So either way, whether you succeed or you fail, they'll know what you attempted to do.
Okay. Is everybody okay with that? I don't want to make a giant game shifting decision.
No.
If there are other.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Okay. Hell yeah, that's
can
all
do
I
this.
need.
This has been a game of big swings.
Alrighty. All right. So Azira sidles up to whatever electrical control panel she can find, and kind of like giving a wink to the others, I'm gonna attempt to shoot it with lightning, and we'll see how this goes. With to make sure I'm adding the right one. Okay, yes, that's a 9. So it's not perfect, but I do in fact shoot it with lightning, presumably.
That's 9. Yes, you do shoot it with lightning. You succeed. However, you face I get to tell you how you face unexpected consequences. You must accept those consequences or mark 1 fatigue. And this is in addition to the consequence of them knowing about it. Your your thing sets off an alarm informing all the guards that there's a prison break happening. So not just the ones in this room, but all of them. Do you accept that consequence, or do you want to mark 1 fatigue?
I'm torn because marking 1 fatigue removes that, but it's also extremely fun if there's an alarm going, and I think that makes it a lot more exciting. So I'm going to stick with the alarm going, and I'm not going to mark 1 fatigue.
Okay, alarm is so the you cause an electrical surge to fill the building. The emergency power comes back, comes on. All the lights are red now, and you hear klaxons warning as they detected the power surge. However, all the prison's doors open with clanks as people, shocked prisoners, try the doors. Meanwhile, the guards realize that they've been had and quickly move to attack you. And we are going to go ahead and enter combat at this time. So
There was something I wanted to do really quick before we hopped into combat, if
sure, what
that's
are you?
possible.
Yeah.
I would like to use a lineage move in as the doors are opening, and
Mhm.
as there's a little bit of Pongo will take a step forward as there's this confusion, and he will yell out, "My name is Pongo Tithe. I am a member and the successor to the Terra Triad. Anybody who fights and assists us in the removal and recapture of Tiger Shark Prison will be paid handsomely by the Terra Triad." And he is using his resource, Cold Hard Cash.
Okay.
Love that.
What does the resource? Does the resource grant you anything specifically? Does the use?
Let's see here. Well, it gives me trouble with my family.
Yeah,
Uh, that's one of the things it does. Let me just double
but
check here.
I just meant, does it give you any specific mechanical benefit?
Spending a resource. It establishes a boon.
Okay, I don't think boon's a mechanical thing. So
It just says establishes a boon you had previously asked for or obtained. It's something that unique positions, stores could provide. So it's something that could be provided based on the boon. In this case, labor, servants, or muscle.
okay, so I think servants or muscle is what you're going for right now.
Yes.
So some triad members were obviously captured along with all these other people. They come out, they crack their knuckles, they're ready to rumble.
Yeah.
And mechanically, they can they'll act on their own turn.
I look to Mayu and say, my other power is money.
I can appreciate that.
So go ahead and choose your phase. Go ahead and choose the stance you're in, is what I mean.
I am going to evade and observe.
I am also going to evade and observe.
You know I'm gonna advance and attack. Come on.
Yeah, might as well bust some heads.
Okay.
Drake, baby.
All right. So they are going to evade and observe. You know what? No, they are going to advance and attack. However, one of them is going. Yeah, they're going to. No, they're going to defend and maneuver. That's what they're going to do. And then they are going, and your goons are going to advance and attack. So, who is defending and observing?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Not this time, yeah.
Nope.
Okay. Well, they are. So they are going to retaliate. So they are going to move into a defensive position. They're going to spend one of their actions to retaliate. And they also are going to shield wall. So they are going to grab some shields and forming a barricade. The group becomes favored. They are also going to activate their winch. You can see the machinery that was attached to the roof is becoming unhooked, and then it drops, and you see a tank in the shape of a person there on the ground. It lands in the middle of them. There's no pilot in it yet, but any of them could get to it at any point and get into it. So that's 1, 2, 3. They have one more. They are going to. They are going to. They are going to spread out. They cannot suffer more than one fatigue or one condition to any additional attack. So they're getting themselves ready to rumble. So uh, 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 with that done, who's advancing an attack?
I have just a rules question. How do you get positive statuses?
Other
So
moves.
you can bolster.
Okay.
You can spend and evade, and you can spend and evade or observe to bolster.
Okay, I'll do that to myself at some point. Because I need that to.
You can also that also creates a status.
Hmm?
You could also ready that. It also creates a status.
Rally? Okay.
No, ready. It's a
Ready.
technique.
Well, okay, I can do that a different.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right now there's no really attack. That we need.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna strike the oh, I have to roll.
Yeah.
That helps. Roll with passion. Well, I rolled a 4. And I have a 0 in passion. So I guess I'm marking a fatigue. Is it just 1?
Yeah, just one.
Okay,
Or
that's
no, I'm sorry. You move your balance.
oh boy.
Oh no.
We know what happened
Don't
last
worry,
time.
don't worry, guys. I centered myself. It's fine.
Yeah. So you center yourself. So you do. You mean you moved your center, right?
Yeah, well, I moved. I did the move that moves me back towards center.
Okay,
So
but
I'm going.
well,
I'm only going to 3. It's okay.
so you do have a new center though, and your center is now +1 control.
I
So
don't
you
know
start,
what that means.
so you start at +1 control.
I didn't. Okay, I start.
Because
okay,
when
started-
you
Okay, so
went
it
over, you go back to 0.
okay, so it reset. Okay, cool. I didn't
It
know
does.
that.
Well, it resets
So
to your new center, which is now +1.
okay. Is that still accurate if my play begins at +2 control?
Yeah, your center is now +1. So
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
you
And
but
I did spend that move to shift my balance over 1, so I think I'm at 0.
yes, you would be at 0.
Okay, so now I'm back to +1 control. It's fine, guys. It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
I can do this so many times and not have a problem. Don't even worry about it. So I'm gonna strike the I want to try to, or no, I'm gonna smash. I want to destroy or destabilize the big robot. Is that thing waterproof? We're about to find out.
Have to find out, I suppose.
Yeah. Gonna pull as much water in the air out of the air as I can and just douse it.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
Can
I will say that because of the prison where it is, I am going to say you are impaired right
Okay. What does that do?
So what that means is you you mark one you take minus you mark 1 fatigue or take -2 to all physical action.
What happens if you hit 5 fatigue?
You are fine, but if you take any more, it goes to your conditions rather than your fatigue.
Great, let's do it, baby.
Okay.
5 fatigue. I am just maxing out as many of these tracks as I can today. It's awesome. Yeah, so I hopefully somewhat broke the robot.
So you smashed. That creates a negative impairment on it. So since nobody is in it, you can trap the robot. It is currently impaired because there's nobody piloting it. So do you want to trap it?
Yeah, how about I douse it and then I freeze, so it's basically encased in ice.
Okay, sounds good. So they'll have trouble getting into it if they want to.
And even if they get into it, it might not move.
Yeah, that is also true. So that's it for you. Anybody else with an attack in advance?
I was gonna try and shoot it with lightning to just short circuit the hell out of it, but it sounds like that might be taken care of for the moment.
Now you can shoot the people with lightning.
Now I can shoot the people with lightning. So yeah, that's what I am gonna do. Then they've got shields, but
They do. They are wearing metal, though. I don't remember if your technique does something if they're wearing metal.
oh, that's actually a good question. I don't know, / I don't remember.
If it doesn't say it on it, then I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. I do love the visual of it though. Okay, yeah, I am gonna try and strike. And we're gonna see how that goes.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
That is a 9.
That will succeed, or you get one technique, unless you want. Yeah, you get one technique. So, do you want to? What's your lightning technique? Do you have arc lightning or lightning blast?
Let me check. I was just using the general strike. I didn't think to check the techniques. What are the two?
Well, you start with one technique, and for you, it had to be either arc lightning or lightning blast. They're both advanced, or lightning blast is a advance in attack.
Then I'll use lightning blast.
Okay, so you hurl lightning bolt. You mark up to 3 fatigue. For each fatigue your target must mark 2 fatigue. So you can give damage to yourself, and they take twice as much damage, up to 3.
That sounds like a great time. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, it's worth noting that they did do some things to defend themselves, so they will actually take less damage because of that.
Are they still taking more than I am?
Let me do the math on that real quick. Hold on. So, yeah, they cannot suffer more than 1 fatigue per action. So, no, they will take 1 fatigue.
Okay, at the expense of me hurting myself
Yes.
considerably.
So, that might be a good status to remove from them is spread out. But
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put that out there. But you can just strike them like normal. Do 2 damage to them. That's fine. If you'd rather do that.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense rather than like really putting myself in a significant amount of danger. So I'll just take the 1 fatigue to just hammer them with as many of these like small lightning bolts as I can very, very quickly.
Perfect. They do ignore the first 2 fatigue against them. So that was going to happen regardless. So the next attack in advance.
I think we're just on evade and observe for me and Pongo.
Okay, great. Well then, either of you can go.
All right. Okay. So
That is with creativity or harmony. 0 on creativity, so we'll go with that. So it is a 10 total. Rolled a 6 and a 4.
Okay, so that's 2.
Mine is a 7.
That's 1.
All right. You can go first, Pongo.
By the way, remember you both remove 1 fatigue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think what I am going to do is not really understanding how lightning bending works. I'm going to call out to oh my gosh, Azira. I'll go, Sparky, catch, and I'll throw her the lightning stick, thinking that maybe she could pull the lightning out of it.
I mean, I'll take it. That's really
As-
cinematic and cool.
as a
Uh,
bolster.
Yeah. Okay, so you grant the status empowered.
Awesome. Thank you.
And that's my go.
Oh, I can't wait to just wreck these people.
Okay, perfect. And Maya.
Yeah. So I am first going to commit myself. So recenter yourself amidst the fray. Shift your balance towards one of your principles. I'm going to shift it towards result. So blink. I think that's right one. And then I am wanting to try and hinder our opponents. I just want to kind of focus my skills and training to try and heat up the air and space around them to try and get them kind of sweating and uncomfortable and just having a very uncomfortable time in the space and sweating, get into their eyes.
Your heat bounces off the metal walls, and soon it's like they're in it's like they're in a toaster.
Yeah, I think we all could use a little sauna in here.
Perfect, love it.
Sweat for sweat bending. There's always water.
Love it. No, that's very accurate. So, yeah, I believe you had 2 though. Did you have anything else you want to do?
Well, my first one was the commit one,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
and then the hinder on our enemies. Yeah.
I got distracted because I think we are end up going to go to chaos mode just for fun. But anyway, okay, so you're done. We're back up to the top of the exchange. Go ahead and decide what stance you're taking.
I'm going to advance an attack.
Yeah, you gotta. Like, Brian, do you even have to ask? I'm gonna advance an attack.
All right, attack and advance.
I'm gonna defend a maneuver.
All right.
I will also advance an attack.
Okay, so that's a lot of advance and attacks, but 1 defensive maneuver, and they get to go first. That was Birdie, right?
Eat.
Go ahead.
I dropped one of my dice, so this is going to be a 2-part. Okay, well, that is a 6 plus 3. So I have a 9.
9. Okay, so you get to go once. So what are you doing? I do think that the sweat bending has kind of negated your impairment because now there is sweat for you to use.
Yeah. Not only, I think it has done more than that. I'm going to kind of take a minute, take in the environment. Bodies everywhere. Damp bodies. I am just going to take, instead of it striking this time, I'm going to just take the time to, like, know that I am not in a, like, I'm in a place where I have the upper hand, and I'm going to give myself the empowered status.
Okay. So you ready yourself. You get granting yourself the empowered status.
Yep. And I
Oh.
think that's all I can do this time. But
Yes. Oh, we'll move to attack and advance. They are going to also attack in advance. So we're at the attack and advance round. I'm going to go ahead with them actually. So they are going to strike all of you. They can do that to each of you because they are a group and can do that. That'll take all four.
Speaking about groups, what about my boys?
What? Oh yeah. So
we got a group too.
So you can. So they're going to retaliate. You get a free retaliate. Here's what we're going to do. You get a free retaliate every round.
Okay.
I think that's what we're going to do here.
Sounds good.
They are going to strike for 2 fatigue to each of you. Remember, if that brings you over the 5 limit, it goes to your conditions.
Is that 2 conditions?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
They do take retaliation for each one of those. So they are going to take 4 damage from that. However, it is negated because they are surrounded. They can only take 1. So it goes down to 1.
So 1 condition.
No, they only take 1 fatigue. Yeah, because they still have the surrounded condition. You guys need to get rid of that if you want to. You're going to need to box them in. They're too spread out for them to easily be taken out by a single attack. That's it for them. Who else has advance and attack?
I took advance and attack.
Go ahead.
Hey, we got a 12 with a plus
Okay.
0 for the passion. 2 6s. So I'm going to run up like I'm also going to firebend, and then I'm going to slip and just punch this guy in the side of the head.
Yeah.
Love it.
His long, lithe arms just come around this shield and get him in the side of the jaw.
So you're striking?
Yep.
Okay. You deal fatigue to them. You can also deal. Well, I wouldn't recommend. You can also no. This is what you can do. You can mark a fatigue to do condition damage to them specifically. That would negate the fact that they can only take 1.
I think that would be worth it in this situation. Yeah, I'll do that.
They have fewer conditions and they have fatigue. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
That's just a general rule. Okay, so you deal a condition. They become enraged. They're not going to be put down by street scum like you. So they're angry.
And I am choosing to, because I got a second move on the 10 plus, right?
You do. It can't be strike again. That one has to be someone else.
Mm-hmm. I am going to apply that pressure. And as I'm hammering this guy with punches, all I'm saying is, I'm just one person. Look at how many are seeing this happen. And that's intimidate, as the other benders probably are starting to walk out of their cells, looking
Perfect.
down on this fight.
Are you trying to negate the spread out?
Yeah.
Okay, so the benders step out of their cells. Not all of them look like they're going to attack, but the fact that these people have built up benders as dangerous threats to their minds, so that causes them to get closer together, negating their spread out advantage.
Yeah. It also probably doesn't help that this guy's getting the beat down from him by some kid.
No. I think that one's actually knocked the fuck out. Your guy got clocked. He is down. Okay, so another advance and attack.
Go.
By the way, they do still get the spread out. All of these happen at the same time, so they do still get the spread out for this.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, that dice just went goodbye. So we're gonna take another one. That's not a great omen. Gotta say. All right. That's an 11.
So that's 2.
All right. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to smash. So I'm going to take this lightning stick, the pongo through to me, and I'm going to throw it as hard as I can up into a light in the ceiling. Try and make like a lot of like spark and like electricity to destabilize the environment. And then I'm going to use that lightning from that to strike and try and hit the guys with the shields again.
Okay. So you're empowered currently. So you clear 1 fatigue at the end of each exchange. Go ahead and give me a strike, or yeah, go ahead and give me a strike if you'd like.
Okay. What do you need for that?
You don't need to roll.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. That's okay. Yeah. Sorry. I was just.
I was confirming that you wanted to strike. Yes.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. I will throw the stick into the ceiling, get that electricity, those sparks, and I'm gonna aim that with my strike right at those like shield guys.
Perfect.
And I'm also gonna shout, "Pongo, get out of the way!"
Okay. Did you want to spend a fatigue to make it so it hits their conditions?
Why not?
Okay. So they are going to take the fatigue afraid. They are now realize they're surrounded by benders. You guys have shown considerable prowess. They're beginning to look. It's beginning to look like they're outnumbered, and they can't get to their robot. That also kind of sucks.
Sorry
So-
about your cool.
Yeah, they're bummed. Who else would like to advance an attack? Go ahead.
That's me. All right. Ooh, that is a 11. Yes. 5 plus 4 plus 2. Yes. 11.
Okay, great. 11. Yeah, that's 2 successes.
All right.
So,
So following directly up from Pongo, because you described them as putting almost like a shield wall, yes?
yes, exactly. It's putting up the shield wall. Yeah.
So I'm going to do a smash, but I'm going to kind of slide in as I'm a little smaller and more wiry than Pongo. So I'm sliding in through next to him to take the opening. And I still have my lightning stick I took from the guards as well. And I'm just going to jam it into the calf of the guy to try and disrupt him.
Okay. So that negates the shield wall. They no longer get that advantage. So, do you want to use your other technique?
Yes. So I can do pressure or strike. I'll just continue on the pressure.
Okay. So what stance do you not want them to do? It's worth noting that they spread out and they shield walled on the defensive.
Yeah, so I don't want them to retaliate.
You mean to do the defensive?
Oh, sorry. I cannot choose in the next exchange.
So you choose what stance they cannot use next round. So
Okay. Yeah, I don't want them to defend or maneuver.
okay. All right. So they cannot defend and maneuver next round. I believe that's everybody. Am I mistaken there?
Believe so.
Okay, great. Then we're back up. We're back to the top. Go ahead and decide what you guys are going to do.
Advance and attack.
Okay.
Evade and observe.
Okay.
Since
Took a
I'm right
lot
in
of
there.
focus.
Yeah. Since I'm right in there, I will also stick to advance and attack.
Okay.
Oh,
And we
gosh.
get
Torn between attacking and I should advance an attack. We're gonna advance an attack.
okay. All right. They are going to evade and observe. Yeah. So they cannot defend. Nobody is defending and maneuvering. So advance and attack.
Trying to think about how to use winning is everything again. Is there any like blanket or sheet or something I can like throw on them? I'm trying to think about what dirty tactic I can use in here.
You could cause one. They have big Amon banners on the side. You could have.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna grab an Amon banner and just like try to, you know how when you throw a blanket over a dog and they have to spend a minute like batting it off their head? That's what I'm going for here. But instead of giving them a minute, I will strike while they're down, which I think counts as a dirty trick.
That I would say it does. Yeah.
All right, that gives me a 10 plus instead of rolling.
Okay. So you become favored for this exchange, and you may choose any techniques from any approach.
What
So,
does favored even mean?
favored, it's in the quick reference doc.
Buoyed by circumstance. Choose an additional basic or master technique in the next exchange, even on a miss.
Heck yeah. Okay. So first one I'm going to do is are any of them impaired, trapped, or doomed?
They were impaired. They are not trapped or doomed.
Okay. But are they still impaired?
I don't think they are at this point. No, you impaired the robot. Sorry, they are not impaired. Nor trapped or doomed.
Well, I still would like to actually, if I can do any of them, first thing I'm going to do is test.
You could impair them. You could impair them. You can use techniques from any other.
I have 2 moves, right?
3 because you are favored.
Okay, yeah, first thing I'm going to do is impair them then. Which I think I impaired them by throwing a blanket over their head.
I would say so, yeah. So you use the poster or hinder to hinder them.
1, they're impaired. Step 2, I'm going to test their balance. I'm assuming they're still loyal. These are the same kind of people.
These are different guys, so you would have to start from scratch there.
You guys call this a populist move? You are nothing more than a cult. What are you even getting out of this? Which I ask what their principle is. They must answer honestly.
Yeah. So they want status. They'll tell you, we're sick of playing second fiddle to the benders. We're gonna be the only cops in town when this is done.
You're all delusional if you think you're going to get anything but stepped on working with someone like Amon. But since you little cult weasels aren't good on things like free will, why don't I help you with that? And I'm going to use my blood twisting move, which use blood bending to move and twist a foe's body in painful ways. You must be empowered to use this technique. Inflict a condition upon your foe. If they are already impaired, trapped, or doomed, inflict an additional condition. So I am going to inflict stunned and what does doomed do?
Oh, so no, you're inflicting a condition, not a quality.
Oh, conditions. I'm gonna inflict afraid.
They are already afraid. They're already afraid. So you can do guilty, insecure, or troubled.
I'm gonna inflict troubled.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to get them to question their leadership.
Sure.
And I'm going to inflict guilty because look at all these. We're just little guys. That's not very effective considering what I'm doing. Like, look at everybody else. Look at everybody else. They're not doing this.
You think the children?
You were like, wow, benders are bad. Like, none of them have done any of this up till today.
Okay.
I guess
Yeah, I think they're feeling guilty, they're feeling insecure, they're feeling angry, and they're afraid.
Yeah, but also this is I would say this is probably my first, second, or third time using this, which means I also have to take a condition.
Okay, that makes sense.
When I took the harm, I took insecure and troubled, so now I'm gonna take angry.
Okay, sounds
So
good.
I am at 4 conditions.
I need to do some conditions to you before you guys take them out.
We are maxing out everything today.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else with some attack and advance?
I think we both were.
I'm evade.
Okay, so go ahead and roll.
All right. That is a total of 10.
All right,
7
that's
for me.
okay, but you're not evading yet. So
Oh,
hold
okay, sorry.
on.
My mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I forgot. They can also decenter me if they want to.
Yeah, they do. They
Cool.
do. Them being frightened has definitely, I think, put you off a little. The fear in their eyes. Anyway, Natalie, what you get 2 techniques.
So first, I'm gonna do a strike across the line. Now that I'm kind of skirting in behind. That is mark. Okay, yeah. So just a strike. So I give like a good empowered like full fist punch, and send out a full flare of fire forward. Just enough blast to kind of knock them to their knees.
Okay. Are you going to mark 1 fatigue to choose whether you do 2 fatigue or condition?
Yeah, I'll mark a fatigue on myself, and yeah, I'll throw down the two fatigue on them.
Okay, so they take 2 fatigue. Okay, BJ.
Oh, I have my second move still because I
You're
only
right.
did the strike. So I am actually going to pressure into them again. Just let them. They'll need to really consider backing down now, or it's not going to end very well. And I'll keep them from defend and maneuver again.
Okay, so they have to keep on the attack. Okay, BJ.
All right. 10.
That's 2.
All right. So I'm going to I'm going to strike them. I'll need you unfortunately to remind me what the arc lightning does. But I'm pretty sure that's the one that I want to use. Didn't carry over when I opened my sheet for some reason.
Yeah, a lightning wave actually. The other one was an evade. Arc lightning was an evade.
Oh, okay. So it's the strike.
It is lightning blast.
Lightning blast. Okay.
Yeah. So you mark up to 3 fatigue. For each fatigue, the target must mark 2 fatigue.
Okay. Then I am going to I'll do that. That puts me in a precarious spot, but I like the drama of that. So I'm just so like pissed off that this fight is going on so long. So I just start like shouting at them, screaming at them, hitting them with like everything that I can. So I will take that 3 fatigue just to keep kind of like hammering away at them, and then I get one more, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. Then I am going to use pressure and I'm going to start shouting at them directly.
So you cannot do pressure on them twice because they need to be able to do
Gotcha.
something. You can smash them and give them a condition if you like, or give them a negative status.
Oh yeah, that actually would not be bad. Okay. And I am going to take the motor. Oh no, I would have taken that off.
They're
I'm not sure
currently
actually.
they're currently wrapped up with an Amon banner. Do you want to light that on fire?
Are they wrapped up with what?
An Amon banner?
Oh. Yeah, I can light that on fire. It'll destabilize the environment pretty significantly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. So they are trapped now. They go from impaired to trapped. So that means they cannot act the next round. Uh, so I think by this point you guys have them pretty well in hand. I go ahead and do your evade observe.
Okay.
You might be able to take them out this round somehow.
Well, that's a 7. What I think I gotta clear that too. What I think I do is I'm gonna bolster by calling out to the triad members. Folks, I think we found a new toy. I'm gonna point to the tank, like robot, and I'm going to direct the triad to weaponize this thing.
So one of them gets in the tank and fires, pulls a lever. He's not sure what it does, but it launches a claw at them, knocks them, or ties around them, shoots them with an electrical grasp, completely frying them. They have been baked. They have been battered. They are now fried. So they they are, most of them are still alive, but they are easily subdued at this point. The other benders are going to grab them and pull them into the prisons, locking them in their own cells. And you guys have successfully beat. But I should have mentioned this, but reinforcements definitely came at some point, and you guys managed to even defeat them. This prison is now yours. You have easily handed them their asses. So it's your choice. What do you want to do? Do you want to throw open the doors and allow people to leave into the night, or do you want to set this place up as a bastion for the rebellion?
Can we do both? Like, can we let
Yeah.
people leave?
Let
We
who
let
wanna
people
leave.
go who want to leave. Yeah.
I don't really want to keep people captive in my bastion for the
What-
rebellion.
Sure. What are you going to say to them, to the ones who are staying?
I think Pongo will look around and he'll call out to the benders. To the benders who are here against their will, you are free to leave. You may be hunted, just so you know, but we understand that you have family and loved ones here that may not be able to fight. You may be too young, might be too dangerous. The Triad will stand strong with the rebellion, and we'll take back whatever we can. Any who stay, we will try and protect you. And he looks up at the giant robot and kind of like internally shakes his head. He's like, I've become what I didn't want to. It's like, I'm just like my mother.
Oh my god. I think Azira, if what we're going with is like this is like the new bastion of like hope in the city for the rebellion, for the resistance, then Azira wants to make some kind of like beacon to draw more people here who are good, who are on our side. So I will climb to the roof and I will let loose blue lightning into the sky in order to attract more of our people here.
I think it does have a lighthouse beacon on it, just to like keep boats away. It's yellow, but you could totally turn it blue with your lightning.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Perfect.
Can I also can I imagine there's like equalists trying to escape at this point.
Oh yeah.
Can I just like take one by the shoulder and look? Listen, I know you want equality, and frankly, I don't think you're wrong. You don't want to do it under someone that's putting his face on a banner. Shove him off.
He will shake his fist at you and he will say, "It'll be a cold day in hell before I listen to a bloodbender," and then he runs off.
Dramatic irony.
Uh, uh, Natalie, anything you want to close us out on?
Yeah, so Mayu kind of follows the crowd out.
Oh, she really did follow the crowd out, huh?
Yeah, really.
Bye, Mew.
She was a secret equalist the whole time.
Shoot, we never even noticed.
No.
Oh,
That
no.
couldn't have been timed better.
Discord decide, hey, I want to do a quick update for whatever reason. So after pause,
You might want to turn on your camera. I think the template's all screwed up, but
Overlay just got real interesting.
yep. That I had no idea what happened, but but yeah, after dramatic pause of Mayu turning around, she just says, "Bending is a part of who we are. Bending is a part of our life, just as much as breathing is. We cannot let them take it away from us. We always intend to use it to help empower ourselves and empower the people around us. That's not something that should be taken away."
they cheer. Many of them are going to go home, especially like the children. But more than a few know that they'll never be safe as long as the Equalists control Republic City. They don't know when the situation might be resolved, but they're going to be damned if they're going to sit on the sidelines and wait. And so, with that, you have finished the adventure. Before we completely wrap up, it's a tradition in my games to do stars and wishes. We're not going to do wishes, obviously, since we're not going to be continuing, but stars are always fun. So, does anybody have anything particular they would like to star for the session?
I want to star all of BJ's one-liners. I am so bad at them, and like every time you said one, I was like, yes, 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 yes.
So good.
I want to interject real quick. If anybody's in chat and wants to give a star to a player, you can certainly do that in chat. But go on. Anybody else?
Noodle car getaway. That was fun right
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Yep.
Definitely a star to Natalie for just like kicking us off by being like, I'm just gonna throw myself through a window. Because that kind of like set the tone for all of the like nonsense big moves that we all pulled later. So that was just like it was great to like start off with something that was just like cinematic and fun and like a little bit wild. So that was really great.
Thank you. It was definitely a fun move. And I want to do a star for Zach. I really thought the creativity of leaning into your character's backstory and their elements and being able to turn around to the people and bring in your triads to bolster our situation and get more control over the prison was great.
My star is I could give one to each of you. You all had great moments this session. All right, I will. Fine. I really liked Zuba's. I'm sorry, I'm very tired. I really liked Zuva. I really liked your how you played up being a bloodbender. I thought you did a really good job. Kuza. And Natalie, I really liked your. I really liked what you did early in the fight with trying to bring in. Sorry, I am very.
Fair.
You know, I really I like the banter you had with Zach in the car. I thought the two of you made an interesting pair, as was said earlier. VJ, I really liked your quip comment when you drove back around in the motorcycle and delivered a one-liner. That was perfect. Zach, I really liked your use of your playbook ability to pretend to be them. That was a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's everybody. So that's Stars. It's been great running with y'all. I would love to have you in any of my games ever. So you've all been great. And Jack, do you want to give some final words on this? I don't know.
Jack from the darkness.
Yeah.
I would love to know how many donations we got.
Yeah.
Yes, hello, I am Jack, the voice from beyond.
It's a shadow bender.
Yep, the shadow bender in the darkness, the man behind the curtain, the voice with no face, whatever you want to call me. I am here in the background. I'll see if I can get my face back real quick. But yes, this was a fantastic show. I enjoyed listening to every minute of it. I planned on getting some work done tonight, and that didn't happen at all because I was enraptured by all of your fantastic storytelling. Here... I'm not here. Now I'm here. All right. Hello, folks. I am back. Yes, fantastic story tonight. And to answer your question, Birdie, we made a total of $90 tonight. So thank you, everybody who donated. We got 1 out of 3 villains. I was looking forward to seeing what else Bryan had cooking, but we may try this again, and we still have plenty more Month of One-Shots games coming up to help contribute to the calls here. This does put us at $375 total. At $500, we do a giveaway drawing with all kinds of awesome, cool stuff. So we have more games coming up tomorrow and Sunday. Stop on by, tell your friends about it, tell your family about it, stick your head out the window and scream about it, whatever you need to do to get more people coming over and watching, and more importantly, donating to this cause, because that's the important part here. I don't think I have much left to say beyond that. Let me throw it back to you guys to remind everybody where they can see more of your awesome content. I like to go in reverse order if I can remember what order I did there. Yes.
I think I was last.
Natalie, go ahead. Take it away. Where can we find more Natalie?
So to find more of Natalie, you can find me with Ghost Candle. That's my tag in most places, especially Twitter, where you can see me make updates on things I'm doing in art or tabletop. One thing I didn't mention at the start was I do weekly emotes. So you can find those on my Ko-Fi, which is ko-fi.com/Ghost Candle. They're all tabletop theme packs. And I am a variety streamer, so you can find me on my own Twitch. That's Ghostly Candle here, with a Y. And yeah, also Zeal Zaddy, where I play D&D weekly. I think that's it. I'm good.
All right.
Thank you for watching, and I'm so excited that I got to play.
Yes, it was a great time. And our lightning bender, I loved the show after the liberation. We are here, we are strong, lightning and whatnot. Yes, VJ, where can we find more of what you have going on?
Hi, you can find me on Twitter at VJ, the letters V and J _Stonecraft. My Twitter bio has kind of all the links to different stuff that I work on for the most part. Right now, my biggest project is being the director of Love Winscraft, which is a queer-led podcast team. Our current story is a Cthulhu by Gaslight narrative. So if you will, join us in the dark.
All right, awesome. And our Bloodbender, quite an arc that we've got to see from you. And thank you so much for joining us right after work and staying through all of this chaos. It was a great time. Birdie, where can we see more of what you have going?
I had a blast playing. Thanks so much for including me. You can find my cosplays at mostly on Twitter at Elephant Bird. That's EL3 Fent Bird. Remember Leet Speak. And I forgot to mention in the beginning, but you can also find my tabletop playing in the archives of Heroes Without Limits Magnus Archives inspired campaign. That is still ongoing and it's really good. I sadly had to step down because of job responsibilities, but I do want to give them a shout out.
Awesome. And of course, Zach Pongo, our Earthbender punchy McPunch face. Where can we see all of your awesome stuff?
Okay, so first of all, I'm all over the place, both mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Right there with you.
but- so the main place you can find me on is on Twitter at Schedule for Launch, where you can find my podcast Scheduled for Launch, where I talk with indie creators. You can also find me Tuesdays, sometimes with Jack, where I play Veil the Void in Tail the Void, which is an official podcast by the people who made that game. It's great. And yeah, all over the place. That's the game. It's so good. But yeah, where I play a spacefaring captain who runs his mouth and gets punched often. And yeah, and then you can also find me Saturday mornings playing Shadowrun, where I play the exact opposite, an overly worried father on
Oh,
Fool's Moon
no.
Entertainment. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. But yeah, other than that, you can go listen to Tail the Void anywhere you get podcasts. You can listen to Schedule for Launch wherever you can get podcasts as well. So yeah, come and take a listen. Maybe you'll find your new favorite game.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. And finally, wrapping us up with our fantastic GM here for tonight. I know, Brian, you don't have a lot of presence on the interwebs, but thank you so much for running this. Any final words you have for our cast or our fantastic audience?
Y'all been great, both audience and players. It was really fun to run this for you, and I had a blast. I do have one thing I want to plug. Jack and I are both on the game Star Trek Europa on Tuesday nights. Studio Tembo. I'm sure Jack has talked about it before. I don't know. It'll be somewhere. Somebody can link something. I don't know.
Yeah, I host it every Tuesday. They're one of our preferred channels or friend channels or whatever it is if you scroll on down. That's Studio Tembo, Star Trek Europa with Studio Tembo. Me, Brian, Evelyn, and of course our Admiral Jeff. It's a great show. You should come watch it. And as Zach said, if you want to see some Veil of the Void, not only can you follow him, follow Trevor, follow the game, but that was also our first RPGs Uncovered season feature. So if that's a game that interests you, some science fantasy, you can I can walk you through it, walk you through how to play it, and give you a really fun little mini series to teach you how it all works.
SLCS is PCs in August too, eh, Jack?
Yeah, I should also point out Drake's charity drive, that Lion Knight 42, or Tales from the Table, I believe, is his rebranding.
Yes.
He's continuing his reproductive rights charity drive all throughout August. His donations are going towards the National Network of Abortion Funds, so I highly recommend go checking all of their great stuff out. We have me and Zach have a
Super special
Veil of the Void game coming up. It was a great game. It was fantastic, but I know he has a number of other games scheduled to come out, both live stream and pre-recorded. So go spread the charity love. I think that's let me throw out. Do I have that up real quick? I don't. Not on this overlay. But tomorrow we have Star Trek Adventures to continue our month of one shots charity drive. Star Trek Adventures tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST. Some great returning guests that we've had on here before. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be cadets out on a shakedown cruise, well within the Federation borders. Certainly nothing could possibly go wrong. And then on Sunday, a horror double feature. We have When the End Comes at 2 p.m. EST. That's a 90s slasher flick inspired breathless SRD game that's going to be fantastic fun. We're all going to die, and it's going to be a great time. And then just after that at 6 p.m. EST, we have the Alien RPG, which I will be running once I figure out how to do so. But I am a big fan of all the Aliens movies, so we're gonna make some aliens, I guess. Gonna have fun with some face huggers. That's what I got coming up for the next week. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you, cast, for such a great story, such a great show. And as usual, everybody stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, keep having fun, keep checking back here at the People's Ascension for more month of one-shots charity content. And when you liberate a prison full of benders, there's not a lot to eat. It might be important to start a nice hearty garden of heart tomatoes. Good night, everybody.